Hello everyone, my name is Pinto Bread, and today we're going to be checking out some ARGs. I have been really excited about checking a bunch of these out. Some of them are super old just because, ARGs have been around for a super long time. I just haven't gotten into many of them besides like the really popular ones. Like the freaking Local 58 and stuff like that. But thought I would check out this one. This one is called Woodlands National Park by two dudes named Buddy Films. Very new comparatively to some of the other ones that are big out there. This one's only been going on for about a year. But I saw a clip on TikTok, I believe. Looked pretty solid, so I thought I'd give it a shot. And as you can see, none of these are super long. So we'll start from the very beginning and just go from there and just kind of see how we feel about it along the way. I'm not gonna hate on it.
Here's one thing you need to do before buying anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you...
Hello everyone, I'm Park Ranger Steve.
And I'm Park Ranger Alex.
And welcome to Woodlands National Park, located in the beautiful state of...
I wasn't even thinking of their names. Obviously got to pay attention. I think he said Steve. Go back. Here you go. Established 1912, Woodlands National Park.
Hello everyone, I'm Park Ranger Steve.
And I'm Park Ranger Alex.
And welcome to Woodlands National Park, located in the beautiful state of...
Park brochure. So it's not going to tell us what state it says. Even on the brochure, the state was marked out. I like it. Let's see. Let's pause it for a second. Woodlands National Park was designated as a national monument in 1912 and made an official national park in 1939. The park contains many anomalies, plants, and entities. Anomalies, creatures, plants, and entities. I have it, I'm guessing this is just, no, oh my good, pop it back up, what is going on? I hate when it does the auto. Anomalies, creatures, plants, and entities. Just nice chill little, forest music, I like it.
And today we're going to be talking about informational videos that are only available at our visitor centers. These videos will include stuff about the park, locations, and crazy animals that will give you nightmares.
He's standing right there. I love ARGs.
These videos can be located at our visitor centers at the designated viewing stations. All you have to do if you want to learn about a subject is press the designated button and these videos will play. These videos cover topics such as walkers, weather, trail locations, visitors locations, national park history, and more.
Thank you everyone for watching. We hope you found this video informational, and we hope you also find further videos informational.
If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to a park ranger and they will help you the best they can.
We hope you enjoy your stay and have a great time at Woodlands National Park.
Okay. So far, we just have basically the introduction. That was a really nice 2-minute video introduction. I think they did a pretty good job. That worked as a really good trailer. I'm interested to see how they usually with ARGs, they try to cover up, hide these types of entities and creatures and stuff. So it's really interesting to see them just oh yeah, it's a part of the park. This is how it works. And so I'm really interested to see how that's going to play into it. All right, let's go to number 2.
There's nothing more powerful than...
Shut up. I had YouTube Red, and then I rarely used it, so now I don't have it.
Hi everyone, I'm Steve with Woodlands National Park, and today I'm going to be talking about Wendigos.
Wendigos. So
Now,
they're
what
straight
is
out with
Wendigo?
it.
Well, a Wendigo is actually a Native American legend, which until recently we thought it was a legend. Due to some mishaps at the park, there is no legs here. You can see the drag marks about here. We now have a knowledge that Wendigos are real. Now, with this being said, if you need more information about the Wendigo, please feel free to pick up a pamphlet at one of our many visitor centers around the park.
This kills me.
Now, what should you do if you encounter one on one of our many prestigious trails? Well, the first thing you should do is never run. They love it when you run.
They love it when you run. That's pretty cool.
So, you can't run. So what should you do? Well, the reason we say don't run.
I'm going to go ahead and call it out because it seems to be a pretty common theme throughout other ARGs. The camera quality messing up and stuff. I mean, come on, Slender Man, huge thing like that. It always messes up the cameras and stuff. So if it's not the Wendigos messing up the cameras, there's definitely at least something in the woods that's messing up the cameras.
Is because actually a Wendigo can run up to 45 miles per hour. And this is
5 miles per hour. Jesus, man. Yeah, you don't get to run from those. Wendigos. First discovered by the Native Americans in northern regions of the United States, the Wendigo is a flesh-eating monster, has been observed running up to 45 miles per hour. To successfully kill a Wendigo, the heart must be removed. I feel like that's easier said than done, my friend. I just love the music. They're just...
the best course of action is to slowly back away. Make sure you
Also, if you're new to ARGs in any shape or form, the reason I'm keeping the CC on, closed captions, is because usually they'll hide like hidden words or hidden messages in the closed captions.
watch your footing so you don't step on any loose debris. Once you've reached a safe distance, please speed up and reach one of your local visitor centers or one of your local officers. From then, please let them know the location and time of your sighting so we can close the area off and prevent any further casualties.
I like Steve. Oh,
Hey, John, what is that?
John, that's a new guy. We know the...
John, we gotta go. John, we gotta go. John, we gotta go. John, we gotta go. Go. John, it's behind.
So John immediately died. That was pretty cool. Okay, so a couple of things there. A couple of things happened. So one, they spent this whole video talking about the fact that you need to not run, you need to stay firm if it's a Wendigo. But we could notice, let's go back for a second, whenever he starts pointing...
Hey, John, what is that?
What is that? Either he can't clearly see it...
John, we gotta go. John, we gotta go. John, we gotta go.
Either he couldn't clearly see that it was a Wendigo, and so he didn't know that it was a Wendigo, or it's a completely new... thank you for the follow, by the way, Gilbert. It's a completely new entity that they either, one, don't know that much about, or two, haven't really learned that much about so far. Doing pretty good, Gilbert. Thank you for joining me, man. How are you? So that's something to keep in mind, that it's either going to be a completely new entity, or they don't even listen to what they say to do. So that's interesting. And so we have Steve, Alex, and now John, with John being obviously very dead. So that makes 3 park rangers we know of, and at least 2 entities. Well, we'll say 1 for right now because we know of fact Wendigos are there. So we'll see. Now we're going to move to the 45-foot tall cryptids in the woods.
Hi, I'm Park Ranger Alex here at Woodlands National Park. And before we get started with today's PSA, here are some announcements for the park this upcoming week. Dead Man's Trail is closed until further notice. We ask that all park members please respect the privacy of the victim. The visitor center on the south side is also now open. Please stop by as we have many activities for the family and the children. Today's PSA is in regards to the increased reports of walker activity throughout the park. And we as a park staff wish to inform the public about what walkers are and how to be safe against them. Walkers are, by all accounts, unique to the park in that they are never found anywhere else in the world.
Ooh.
Walkers, until recently, were believed to be completely invisible and possibly spectral.
Go ahead and throw it out there. In the first episode, it said he's standing right there, and it just showed a tree with a light on it. So now they have an entity that's completely invisible, so that makes 2 entities so far that we know of.
But due to thermal technology, we have been able to visualize walkers and now are able to report on how they actually look. Walkers are, for all intents and purposes, completely invisible to the naked eye, as their skin is such a dark black color it absorbs all spectrums of visible light.
Okay, so where the light was shining wasn't even where it was, because it would have blacked out the tree. There's the picture. He's standing right there. I hate that it keeps doing that. That's pretty interesting.
They can only be seen via thermal
Nice.
technology.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm excited to
And
watch
with
it.
this, we've been able to conclude they are anywhere between 12 to 45 feet tall,
Damn.
with long legs and short
Holy
torsos.
crap. 12 to 45 feet tall. And you can't fucking see it? Oh my gosh. That's insane. Why would you even allow people in the park? That's crazy. I love it though. That's insane. 12, even just a 12-foot one. That's crazy. Alright, walkers. Walkers are mysterious creatures that are completely invisible to the naked eye at night due to their incredibly dark skin that absorbs all visible light. So during the day would be so much easier to see it just because it is so dark. Gotcha. At night, okay. We currently have no explanation for where they come from. They are estimated to be anywhere from 12 to 45 feet in height. Height is spelled wrong. I love it. Walkers are capable of double of... Okay, so maybe that's playing something into it. Because I feel like they wouldn't put a ton of grammatical errors for no reason whatsoever. Walkers are capable of producing high levels of radio waves from their bodies. This will cause any radio in the immediate area to produce static. This is theorized to be some sort of language to the walkers, but efforts to decipher the signals have been unsuccessful. So, what we were discussing earlier in episode 2 with the cameras glitching in and out could also play a part to that. So we'll have to wait and see further. But we definitely need to remember, because of the fact that they cause any radio in the immediate area to produce static. So that's definitely going to play a part. It's mainly because they specifically mention, I believe, radios. I wonder how would you decipher that? That's pretty crazy. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you, John. I don't want to mispronounce you. I'm sorry.
While the walkers are incredibly dangerous creatures, there are measures you can take to ensure your safety and still have an enjoyable time here at Woodlands National Park. Firstly, we urge you not to leave the designated camping area. The designated camping area is walled off, well lit, and well protected against all outside threats at the park. And we urge you not to leave, as it is your safest place to be.
Awesome.
Secondly,
Thank you, man.
we urge you not to let your campfire die out, even late at...
So I do want to point out, I'm a little confused. So let me re-listen to that. So they have walls that they put up, but how freaking big or thick would those walls have to be?
While the walkers are incredibly dangerous creatures, there are measures you can take to ensure your safety and still have an enjoyable time here at Woodlands National Park. Firstly, we urge you not to leave the designated camping area. The designated camping area is walled off, well lit, and well protected against all outside threats at the park. And we urge you not to leave, as it is...
So I don't think they actually have like a defense against these things. I think their best thing is just keep it well lit, keep it walled off, and that's all we can really do. So I see their point. Staying on the path is the best option, but honestly, it probably doesn't do very much, because if you're going to have a Wendigo running 45 miles per hour or I forget what they're called, an entity that's just straight up 45 feet tall, I mean, gosh, those walls would have to be I don't know.
It's your safest place to be.
Appreciate the effort, though,
Secondly,
to at least keep the
we
campers
urge you not
safe.
to let your campfire die out, even late at night. Keeping your
being
campfire stocked
stupid.
is your life.
I'm being very stupid. I keep forgetting they're not invisible during the daytime because they're so black. So keeping your campfire and keeping it well lit would at least give you keep your eyes on it. That'd be the only thing I could
Last
think.
line of defense against any threats that may want to hurt you. Thirdly, if you have any FM radio or AM radio or any kind of walkie-talkie, we urge you that if you hear static late at night, please respond with the words, "Ranger, Ranger." If you do not hear a designated ranger with a badge number respond to you, please ignore, as it is a walker. We do not understand how exactly this is possible, but we can confirm it is indeed a walker.
Oh, they can mimic. I love mimics. Absolutely. I'll take any suggestions for ARGs. I'm a huge fan.
That concludes today's PSA. If you have any questions, feel free to ask a ranger or pick up a brochure in the visitor center. That's all for today, folks. Happy camping here at Woodlands National Park.
I do want to point out how incredibly efficient and minimalistic it is to just have a campfire with a static radio next to it. This is outside of the ARG, just being a normal videographer. That's an easy way to just add extra to the show, and I think that was awesome. They did a good job there. All right, so next is going to be our longest one so far. Private military group hunts down Wendigo. I think we're about to get juicy. I'm excited.
Keep it quilted.
I'm very excited. This one's going to be the longest one so far. All the other ones have 1, 2, and 3 minutes. Ooh, we got a corporation, the Dyer Corporation, bringing you a better tomorrow. Wait a minute. The logo. We're going to have to take a look at the park logo, because I think the park logo has very similarities. Not saying they're exactly the same, but I want to remember that the park logo looked similar. So don't let me forget, gamma level clearance required. This program is considered highly classified. Any person or persons viewing this film without gamma level security clearance are subject to immediate termination of employment and benefits without warning from the Dyer Corporation. Viewer discretion is advised. All right, let's do it. On June 3rd, 1975, the Dyer Corporation received a call from the Woodlands National Park regarding the recent death of one of their production staff, John Stewart. Footage recovered from the scene revealed the cause of death was an encounter with a Wendigo. Within 15 hours of John's death, Dyer Corp's private military group, Task Force Delta, arrived on the scene. They were tasked with tracking down the creature and exterminating it. Okay, so now we know that we're taking place in 1975. So we're going to have to go back and look at the first episode to exactly remember when they were made into a national park. I just like to keep a timeline in my head. But June 3rd, 1975. So we know John died, and he was part of the production staff. Okay. I'm just trying to keep every name in my head. Awesome. Love it. So they responded very quickly, 15 hours. The team consisted of an expert tracker, 2 weapons specialists, and a cameraman to document the entire mission. Cameraman never dies, except in these types of scenarios. Ooh, yes, I love a map. So we have campsite / base is the triangles, designated parking areas, base camp, off-trail campsite discovered, Dead Man's Trail, which is, as we know, closed currently, river. And then we have, what is it at the bottom? Team route. Okay. So body found by park rangers was just off the designated park camping area, site of John's death. Perfect. We have a base camp, and then we have a long way to go. Okay, sweet. I'm one of those people, man. I gotta go everything. Thank you, Ricky. And thank you, Morton. I just saw that you followed. I'm sorry, bud. Always enjoy this. Okay. They followed the creature's trail to the riverbank where they found a shallow place to cross. Nice. I gotta give them credit. They're doing a really good job with using minimal stuff. Also do want to point out on their YouTube, I'll show you in a minute, they do have a Patreon that they use to help fund this. So it should just be a 4-man or a 5-man. I think it was 2 specialists, a tracker, and the cameraman, so 4. And I know a lot of people would be like, oh, it's just some guys out in the woods. That's kind of the fun of an ARG, is just to enjoy moments like this where some guys went out into the woods, made a 7-minute video. People will enjoy it, and some people talk shit about it, but I enjoy people who put even the smallest amount of effort into making something good. And they tried, and that's all that matters. So far, they've done great. I've loved it. And they chose a really good place to show the river. That was awesome. At the halfway point, the men set up a camp for the night. The mission resumed early the next morning. An off-trail campsite was discovered approximately 63 miles from the Dead Man's Trail on the second day. It's not a game, it's an ARG. You watch it on YouTube. So all you have to do, go to YouTube, type in Woodlands National Park, and you can go under their playlist, and they have them all listed so far. There's only 8 episodes, and you check it out through there, Dorothy. But there are ARGs. There is an ARG video game I'll talk about later that I've played 2 episodes of, and they're releasing a 3rd episode later. Man, they did a really good job with their sight choosing. Their setting works really well. I hope that cameraman has a weapon. Oh, never mind, I see. Set up a perimeter. He's just going in there to look.
Document everything.
So I feel like the accent was specifically chosen. Need to remember that. Sounded Baltic. Russian. So I do want to point out, the thing with ARGs is every little detail matters. It's just kind of the part of being an ARG. And I feel like it needs to be pointed out that the cameraman is having, I think, a very difficult time. He could be tired. It could just be the trip. But my man is breathing something fierce right now. And I think he is just a cameraman. Because I don't think he's used to all this blood. Which, if that's the case, awesome little detail. If it's not, that's all right. My man's tired. He can breathe heavy.
It's warm.
Thank you, man. Bro, what do you even do in that instance? If it is like a Wendigo or a Walker or any other entity, I don't feel like guns are really going to do all that much. Delta team held their position till nightfall. That was a really good.
You, come in. Are you clear?
I think we're clear. Wait. Contact us!
You, stay here. You, with me.
Yeah, that my man's bugging right now. That's pretty cool. I'm just going to point out, I for sure think this cameraman is not a military personnel, because my dude just got into a tent that has been destroyed and covered in blood and zipped it up. Just want to point that out. My dude is freaking out in the head right now. That's awesome. So we have antlers. Just imagine though, they're 63 miles away from the Dead Man's Trail campsite. Dire Corporation bringing you a better tomorrow. That was solid. That was really good. That was good.
I trust these people.
Oh, shut up. Next up is going to be the memorial, I'm guessing, for John. Was that his name? I think it was. That was interesting. I enjoyed that. I'm definitely excited about that. So, well, it could be a memorial for... So what happened to the actual campers that were out there? So it's an off-trail campsite. They knew to go look because of John's death, not because of the camper's death. And then they found the camper's campsite after they started their track. I think. I'm pretty positive. So that's interesting. I'm wondering where the dead campers went, if they even care. They might have just been looking to kill that. Alright, let's see.
John, what is that? John, we gotta go. John, we gotta go. John, we gotta go. John, we gotta go. John, go, go, John. John, it's behind us.
Just want to point out, Steve did not listen to his own advice. Thank you, Gilberto. That is, yeah, I just gotta point out, Steve did not listen at all to what he was preaching to these people. My man said, don't run. Okay, so the CC wasn't showing a bunch of their conversation, but if you were able to listen to it, basically it's Steve calling Alex and saying, it got John, I'm running and need help. And Alex just being like, oh, okay, I'll send help. Steve was, my man was struggling.
Hi everybody, welcome to Woodlands National Park. And here are some updates for the park this upcoming week. Firstly, we would like to thank everyone who came out to our dear friend John Stewart's memorial service yesterday. It was, it really was a beautiful thing, seeing all the rangers, all the park goers, all the staff there. It really was beautiful to honor our dear friend who worked here for over 20 years as our wildlife photographer. We would like to ask that you keep his wife and kids in your prayers and thoughts.
Steve's having a tough time.
It's going to be really hard for them. You okay?
Yeah, I'm not okay. I don't want to do this right now. I'm tired. I'm
I'm depressed, I'm miserable, I'm exhausted. It's been one thing after another. I just don't want to do this right now. I just want a break.
I want a break too, man, but we gotta get this video out. You got the memo just as well as I did. The death quota's already too high. We're not even halfway through the year yet.
Thank you, Dorothy.
If they found out our wildlife photographer got killed by one of these things, oh my gosh, they'd have a field day with us.
Death quota's too high.
That's what would happen.
I know.
Steve, come in.
Yeah, what do you need?
John's wife is down here at the ranger station. She's asking a lot of questions. You better get
We gotta go. We gotta go. Shut the camera off. Shut the camera off.
I am a little interested to... I'm just going to pause it real quick. So they pointed out that the death toll is already too high and that John's wife is asking a lot of questions. So maybe what we originally thought as the national park isn't as public as we thought it was. I feel as though a lot of people do know, but also a lot of people don't know. And it's super weird. I'm still trying to figure it out in my head without sounding like a complete idiot. But I don't know. There's some conflicting things, which I like. That's what an ARG is all about. And I'm like, ooh, I'm ready to find it out. All right, who we have now?
Ma'am, for the last time, I strongly urge you to sign the agreement and take the money.
Why?
John's wife.
What is it that I'm not supposed to talk about? For God's sakes, my husband worked as a cameraman for a national park. It sounds like you're trying to hide something.
Mrs. Stewart, this is standard protocol when something like this happens.
None of you care what actually happened to John. Stop pretending like you care. You know, he told me what happens here.
Ooh.
What really happens here.
Shouldn't have said that.
I know he didn't die from a bear attack. He was a wildlife cameraman for over 20 years. He was way too experienced for that. I think one of those things, one of those monsters got him.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He told me about how the park...
So, who are the videos for then? Because if they're on camera talking about everything, you would assume those are being posted in the public for the public to see. So why wouldn't she just already... Why wouldn't everyone know about it? Thank you, John. I swear I'm not trying to mispronounce your name. But she was saying that John had to tell her about it. So I am a little interested to see who the videos are for. Maybe they're just going directly to the Dyer Corporation. But then why would they go through all of the, like, for lack of a better term, like a glitz and glam of filming it and talking about it when Dyer Corporation would already know? I'm interested.
lies to the public by downplaying how dangerous the monsters really are. He told me about how the park covers up how many people actually die as a way to keep this whole operation afloat.
See?
I strongly
I would've waited
recommend that you stop talking
4 seconds.
for your own good.
Nancy, stop talking right now. And you, get the hell out.
I was just...
I don't care. I said get the hell out, right now. And don't say a word of this to anyone, or have you working as a public defender the rest of your measly career.
Steve,
Get it,
what's
Steve?
going on? Please tell me what's going on.
Nancy, you need to sign this NDA right now.
What? Steve, please tell me what happened to John.
Please, Nancy, you can't be talking about this right now. I don't know who's listening.
Who is listening?
Shh.
My man had to write it down. They're doing a good job. I'm liking this.
Read. Don't speak.
Oh, God, really? They wouldn't. John worked for them for so long. Why me?
Nancy, listen to me. You haven't said too much yet. If you sign the agreement now, you can walk away from this. I'm sorry what happened to John, but that's over and done with now. These people. I've seen what they'll do. The people who know too much. You need to do this, Nancy. Do it for the kids. They already lost their dad. They're gonna need their mom now.
Okay. I'll sign it.
Now the lawyer's gonna write you a check. Take the money and go to the bank immediately and cash it out. Get the kids and get as far away from here as you possibly can. And don't you ever say a word about what he told you or what happened here today. Do you understand me?
Yes, I understand.
If you need anything, Nancy, you call me.
Damn, Nancy. My girl's going through it. Going through it. Next up is miners in the 1850s were eaten alive by these creatures. And it looks like we're starting to get further into the actual backstory. I like it. Thank you, Morden.
Hi everyone, I'm Park Ranger Steve with Woodlands National Park, and today I'm going to be talking about a creature that can only be found here at Woodlands National Park.
Hi, Racer Cat. How are you doing?
Oh, hi guys. I'm out here panning for gold, just like the miners in the 1850s used to do in this natural river. What they would actually do is take shelter in these natural forming caves, but little did they know that there were hellish creatures awaiting deep inside those caverns.
Oh, no.
And these hellish creatures are called cave critters. Cave critters are tall, gray, humanoid-like creatures with 6 appendages that range anywhere between 10 to 12 feet. These creatures also have superhuman strength, which gives them the ability to hold on and scale rocks very fast. The creatures also tend not to leave the cave. Go, now.
Yeah, my guy said, nope, we're fine. Cool, so now we have another creature. I like it. Reminds me of, oh god, what does it look like? Resident Evil 4. Or not 4, just Resident Evil in general. The, what are they called? The lickers? I can't remember the name of them. The ones with the super long tongues that'll grab you and pull you, that reminds me of that. It's best photograph we have on file, taken by John Stewart, 1957. John Stewart. So the only thing we've seen so far, Racer Cat, with the guns, do guns work, is up against a Wendigo, and it doesn't look like it did much to it. The only way to kill the Wendigo is to completely remove its heart, so not entirely sure if it did anything to it, but it looks like that Wendigo probably got away. And these new creatures, I have no idea yet. So, let's find out.
Cave critters actually don't reproduce like normal animals. What they actually do is they have a virus that lives in their saliva, and they infect people through biting. Now, once you have the virus, we call this a 45-45-10 rule, meaning you have a 45% chance of dying from the disease, a 45% chance of turning completely into a cave critter, and a 10% chance of having absolutely no side effects. We don't fully understand how this works.
Within the first 2 weeks.
I'm sorry. The what? So not only is it an actual cave critter, a critter that lives in caves, but now you have the 45-45-10. 45% chance just to outright die. What? Go back a second. I gotta listen to that.
Cave critters actually don't reproduce like normal animals. What they actually do is they have a virus that lives in their saliva, and they infect people through biting. Now, once you have the virus, we call this a 45-45-10 rule, meaning you have a 45% chance of dying from the disease, a 45% chance of turning completely into a cave critter, and a 10% chance of having absolutely no side effects. We don't fully understand how this works.
I'll say 45-45-10 and you have no idea how it works. What are you even supposed to do? Like, how do you don't beat that. You either become one, die, or nothing. And what are the odds that it's going to be nothing?
Within the first 2 weeks, the victim may experience rabies-like symptoms. Also, within the later month, they experience more symptoms, including but not limited to changes in skin color, superhuman strength, and the urge to return to the cave at all costs.
Did you hear that last part? The urge to return to the cave at all costs. So if you get infected and you manage to make it away to a hospital, the infection is going to actually make you want to go back to the fucking cave. I don't know how they expect people to survive this. That's crazy. Alright, back to the Dyer Corporation. Another gamma level clearance required.
What should we do? What's going on? You guys
Bet he's infected. Even though it was only for a second, we now have 2 more people added into this. Some type of doctor in a lab coat and some dude with the cave critter thing. The only reason I'm pointing that out is the sheer fact that we do not see very many actual people in this show so far, and so I just got to point them out. No problem, Dorothy. Thank you for watching. Park brochure. Let's go ahead and switch it back. Alright, cave critters. First discovered by miners during the gold rush, which would have been a very shitty time to come across cave critters. Cave critters are pale, humanoid-like creatures with 6 appendages. They have long fingers and claws that enable them to climb and scale rocks effortlessly. So, you get bit, you run away. If it, for some reason, decides to chase you, you're just screwed. Because them suckers can scale rocks and climb like it's nothing. If bitten by a cave critter, you have a 45% chance of dying. Nice. 45% chance of turning into a cave critter. Nice. And a 10% chance of surviving without any side effects. We are not sure of their origin. Attempts to research them have proved fatal. Oh, man. They're playing dangerous games here. Dangerous games.
The reason for this powerful urge to be drawn back to the cave is due to intense pheromones given off by the larger group of cave critters. Once the victim has reached the cave, it will be ushered in and protected by the larger group of cave critters until the full transformation, it takes around 6 months, will be fully completed.
6 months? Dude, you have to live with
you
them
may
for
be wondering,
6 months?
what should you do to stay safe against these cave critters?
Don't go in a
Now,
freaking
luckily,
cave.
you don't have to worry about that, because here at Woodlands National Park, safety is our #1 priority.
I would
That's
bet.
why we took the liberty of using caution tape to block off the cave.
A caution
Now,
tape.
under the very
Caution tape. What? There's these things. Like, what? Caution tape? I am just dumbfounded right now. Why wouldn't you just block off the entrances? Like, if they don't like to come out, why even worry about, like, having anyone go near them? Just block the caves off. I think there's a lot more to this.
rare circumstance
Oh
that you
goodness.
encounter someone with rabies-like symptoms approaching the
Thank you,
cave.
John.
Under no
I
circumstances
plan on
should
it.
you try and stop them, as they will cause bodily harm to get to the cave. Now, what you should do is get to your local...
I wonder if, like, in the process of them going back to the cave after they've been bitten, they said they already show rabies-like symptoms. I wonder if once you've been bitten, if you, even before you turn into a full cave critter, if you bite someone, would you still automatically start changing them as well? I don't know.
visitor center or contact a park ranger immediately.
Thank you, everybody, for watching.
If you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask a park ranger or pick up a brochure at the visitor center.
We hope you enjoy your visit and that you have a great time at Woodlands National Park.
Thank you for the subscription, Nucleo. Appreciate you, man. Oh, no.
I picked the software engineering program because they pay very well. It's a fast-paced.
Oh, shush it. Where were we? Okay, cave critter disease outbreak of 1975. Orange shirt man. You know, there's actually something really funny about it. I have extreme color blindness. I am terrible when it comes to colors. Orange is the only color I can 100% see without any problems. All right, next episode. This one is, I think, the second longest so far, so we're doing pretty good. Unfortunately, man, I wish this was one of those ones that had like 30 episodes already, because I am dying. Because after this, we have a couple of other ones I have saved that I want to check out, but man, I'm really liking this. I think they're doing a great job. Back to the Dyer Corporation. Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw what you said. Did you see the GD 2.2 trailer? I honestly have no idea what you're talking about, my brother. Thank you, gotcha. The GD 2.2 trailer. Yeah, you're going to have to spell it out for me. I am terrible with remembering things. I will forget in an instant. Let's check it out. Next episode. Another gamma level clearance. We're assuming that's, I'm guessing, the highest level at this point. We don't really have anything else to go off of. October 7th of 1975, Todd Harrison's curiosity had him venture too close to the cave where he was bitten by a cave critter. He hurriedly left, covering his wounds, avoiding any suspicion from the Rangers. Todd was unaware of how serious his injury was as he felt fine on his way back to New York. The following week, he started feeling bad and went to a local Deer medical facility. After hearing he visited the park, the symptoms he had were more than alarming. His blood was drawn and sent to the labs for testing. It was discovered that he was in stage 1 of cave critter disease. Head park ranger Steve was notified immediately by the doctors. Yeah, that's true, Eraser Cat. Oh, Geometry Dash? No, I haven't. I mean, I've heard of the game and played it once upon a time, but I did not. That is very accurate, Eraser. So now we have the new person introduced who got bit, decided to leave without saying anything. And cool thing is, so as I was discussing earlier, they're definitely posting them for the public to see. The public just doesn't think it's as big of a problem as they're making it seem like it's not that big a deal. So I wonder if that plays into the fact that this dude just said, it's not that big a deal. I'll just go home and leave. Mario, the scariest character in the whole universe. I mean, he's pretty alarming. Thank you very much, ma'am. And now we have just found out that Steve's the head park ranger.
My security clearance code is Alpha 586925. What I'm about to tell you is confidential information. Please hold while I confirm your security code. Alright, what can I do for you? I need to confirm some information. Could you verify a couple of things for me? Yeah, I'll do my best. I need you to tell me if a gentleman by the name of Todd Harrison was in your park last week. Give me 1 second.
Thank you for subscribing. Gotcha. Appreciate you. My man is searching.
Well, according to our records, this Todd Harrison guy bought a day pass for Tuesday the 7th. Why, is there something going on? Yes. Recently, he visited one of our local Diretech medical centers and was exhibiting early stages of cave critter disease. The physician there was unsure of the symptoms he was exhibiting, so they sent Todd's blood work to the lab. Upon further examination of his blood samples, I've concluded that he is already in stage 1 of cave critter.
So the Dyer Corporation, we can see, has actual medical facilities set up everywhere. So that's pretty interesting if you think about it. So now we not only have this national park that has these entities that are very obvious to the public, but not as much of like a, oh, we need to do something about them. It's more like a, well, they're only at the national park, and if you follow these rules, you should be fine. But the Dyer Corporation being over the national park, or at least having a hand in the national park, also has medical facilities that are trained to notice those types of things all over the place. And we can assume, since we don't know where the national park actually is located, that's the one thing on the brochure that's always marked out every episode, and every time they go to say it, it cuts. We can assume that New York's at least a solid distance away from wherever this national park is. So that means they're all over the country at least.
Critter disease. What? How in the hell? How did he get past our ranger centers undetected? The bite appears on his right forearm, which could easily have been covered with a long-sleeve shirt or jacket. Damn it! Please tell me you have this man's location. Yeah, we have his address. Send in a team! Don't worry, we're already on it. Okay, good. Keep me updated.
I have to keep that in mind.
To notify some people, and they're not going to be happy.
Thank you, Eraser, for the subscription. So Steve's obvious displeasure could just come from the fact that, oh, a guy got bit and made it out. But I also want to point out how loud and frustrated he was. Like, how did he even make it out? How did he even make it that far? The day that James reached out to Steve, 5 days had passed since the blood work had been sent off and confirmed with Diretech Labs. And you can see they changed. So Diretech and then the Dyer Corporation are spelled differently. I just wanted to point that out. A team was sent out same day to Todd Harrison's house. Is it Delta Task Force? He wishes he was Adam Sandler. They found towels all over the windows, blocking any light from coming through as he grew more sensitive to light and his condition worsened. Just like a cave critter. Cameraman was then sent in to record the findings. Like alone? No. Couldn't pay me enough, brother. Not even a little bit. So it looks like he covered the windows and then slept in the closet, trying to get to the darkest point in the house. Oh my. The blood on the sink is believed to be one of the side effects from the disease. As seen from previous subjects, symptoms could be bleeding that could occur from eyes and nose. These symptoms were documented from a subject in 1961. Thank you, Eraser. I appreciate you. I try, man. And now it's showing those clips again. 1961. So now we have 1850, 1961, and 1975 as our main our main timeline. Plus, I need to go back and look at when I wouldn't know about that. The team continued to search the surrounding areas but came up empty-handed. Approximately 6 months later, 2 security guards heard strange noises coming from an abandoned hospital on the hill. One went to investigate and was attacked. The second guard claimed to have seen his friend get taken by a tall, gray, 6-limbed creature. DireCorp caught wind of these events and immediately sent a team. Thank you very much, John. So, because of that, we can now see that if they can't make it back to the cave within the allotted 6-month time frame of when they turn into a cave critter, now they just take place wherever they can find the darkest spot for them to sit. This, in this case, being an abandoned hospital on a hill, which, you know, lots of floors, lots of dark areas they'd easily be able to hide in. And that's interesting. Another thing they point out is just kind of like, DireCorp caught wind of these events and immediately sent a team. So that's how ingrained DireCorp is into looking for these specific creatures that are out and about. The sheer fact that, oh, this security guard got attacked by something. What are the odds that a company would even remotely hear that? An abandoned hospital, someone happened to get hurt, unless they're actively looking for anything that could possibly harm the national park or anything that would give anybody any idea how bad they actually are happening. So when I was in, I'll give you a quick little rundown. When I was in first grade, I believe, they had this typing class on computers for little kids and stuff. And so whenever I first started that, we had to color code everything. And I was red-green, very bad, very bad. It was so easy to tell every time we did anything unless I could read the name on the side. It was just backwards while I was typing it and color coding it and everything. And then as I progressed, I started having to go to these classes that are specific for people that have color blindness. And just basically it's red-green, just think that. I can't remember the actual name, I can never say them, whatever it is. But basically red-green, but it's kind of devolved over the years. My eyesight's just getting worse and worse as I get older. Don't know what'll eventually happen, but it's just getting worse and worse. And so I just kind of got to deal with it. Not to say that means like, oh, look at this guy, sympathy. Like, it's just a part of life. You get it, you move on, you deal with it. It happens, man. But it does always make video games 10 times more interesting with what I can see as opposed to what someone else can see. There you go. See, I can remember the I one and the D one, and never can remember the P. Oh, I didn't read that. Also, if you notice, I am eating mints, I was a smoker for a number of years, and then I started vaping once I got with my now wife. She didn't like me smoking, so now I vape. And then I stopped vaping once my daughter was born this past December, or I stopped vaping like 2 months ago. But the cravings are still there, so I eat a lot of mints, if you noticed. Well, I appreciate you pointing it out, because I forget all the time. It's just one of those things I don't think about it. It's just a part of life. Okay, moving on. But the thing I do hate about mints is I'm also drinking soda, so that sucks. 10 men arrived, heavily armed, including a cameraman for documentation. So instead of 4 guys, this time we have 11. Out of the 10 men, only 3 survived during the takedown, 2 of which were bitten and infected. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We're doing good. I got laid off in July, so that's why I'm kind of like streaming a lot more. Yeah, I appreciate it. It sucked. I used to be like 2 packs a day from the time I was 16 to the time I was like 20. And then my wife, whenever we started dating, was like, absolutely not. I will never be with you. And I was like, okay, well, what about vaping? And she was like, that's fine. But I'm happy I quit too. I like it a lot more. And I can already tell you, if any of you smoke, you'll know what I'm talking about. You have a very heavy feeling on your lungs whenever you smoke and vape. Not that you can't breathe, but that you can feel the heaviness. I promise you, when you stop vaping, that heaviness just like evaporates. It's like one day it's just not there anymore, and it just feels like your lungs can so much more than it could before, if that makes sense. I tell you right now, a dark ass hospital. Oh no. So I'm confused. Are they trying to eliminate the cave critter, or are they trying to like capture it and study it? Because if they're trying to capture and study it, makes sense to send in a team. But if you're trying to kill this thing, throw some fire on that sucker. Burn it. It's an abandoned hospital. Burn that bitch down, son. Which I know, production quality, that probably couldn't happen. But I'd have believed it if you just told me they tried. I try not to. I try, if you continue watching me, you'll see I am a very easygoing person. I don't I'm not going to discriminate against anybody for any reason whatsoever. It just doesn't matter to me. Like, you be who you want to be, be however you want to be. Because I'm going to be me. That's all there is to it. Gilberto, you can follow me through anything, man. I'm streaming through YouTube, Trovo, Kick, and Twitch. So any of those. Mostly YouTube is what I focus on, because I just like YouTube the best. Because I do a lot of pre-recorded content as well. But I like the way the live works better for YouTube. Can't see it because, yeah, I had that problem because I have 2 monitors set up. If you notice, I keep looking over to my right and left. My left is what I'm watching on, but my right is where my stream and all that is. And if I'm watching on my left, I'm perfectly fine. But if I look over to my right, nope. Not being sneako. I'm not super caught up with all the different streamers, but I do know who you're talking about, mostly because of that viral clip with all the clips and stuff. So that was pretty funny, but I appreciate it, man. The 2 infected survivors were taken in containment to be studied. The cave critter's body was removed and the cover-up process began. See, so they killed the cave critter. Why wouldn't you just burn the thing down? Why not? I would say the only reason would be just because if anybody else saw the hospital burning down,
best business
you'd kind of
to
have to
start
cover
in
that as well.
2023.
But that would be a pretty easy cover-up. I don't know. You're going to have to wait and find out. So we are on to the last episode. But that's okay. We got a couple other ARGs saved that we'll take a look at. Or at least see if we enjoy.
Hi everybody, welcome to Woodlands National Park. I'm Park Ranger Steve, and today we're going to be talking about the importance of only staying at designated campsites. This is very... Give this a second.
I love when
yeah,
Steve
Alex,
pulls his thing off. He pops that sucker with everything he's got.
I got a camper who just came up here covered in blood. three friends were attacked by what sounds like a walker. This happened last night, but he just made it up here. He's covered in blood. You need to get down here ASAP.
All right, I'm on the way. All right, we gotta go.
Steve's going through it. My guy can't do. He can't have a normal day at work. Steve just cannot.
I've got 2 meters from Station 7 taking this way. We need to sweep this way. We'll kind of make a cone and funnel it.
It's this general vicinity?
It's this general vicinity.
All right, let's go.
I don't think it's much farther. From where this camper said he...
Yeah, exactly. That was the clip. Vita Carnis.
Alex, you hear that?
I'm trying to remember if I've seen Vita Carnis or not. I will have to look. Because me and my wife, surprisingly got her to watch a couple of ARGs. So we watched Local 58 with her. And we haven't watched the Monument Mythos yet. I will say that. That's the one that she was like, I don't know if I want to sit down for, 3 seasons of this. And I'm like, I would. But she didn't seem that interested. I just got her to watch anime for the first time. So it's a slow process. We're working on it. But definitely we watched Local 58. And I want to say Alex Kishner, his was also, I think, Meat Monsters. No, I have not then. Nuh-uh. I know exactly what you're talking about. We can check it out after this. We can check out an episode or two, see if everybody's enjoying it. Yeah, Local 58, I enjoy that style very much. So I believe that was the very first one I watched that got me into ARGs. Plus, I mean, Wendigoon. I mean, come on. That guy is like butter in your ear. He can convince you to watch or play anything.
You're what? Wait. Yeah. Is that? That's music. Sounds like from here, over here. Yeah.
I just want to point out, these Rangers do not have weapons. Like, at all.
I see it. Yep, I got it.
Thank you, Gene.
Well, looks like it's it. Here's where your music coming from. Attention all range. We found a campsite. About a mile off trail this way.
I'll give an episode 2 out.
Okay,
well, we'll see which ones I have saved first, and then we'll check and see if we'd rather watch Vita.
You're not gonna believe this. Guy gets to the ranger station. I mean, he's in bad shape. Says the walker picked him up while he was in the tent and lobs him across the forest. He says he lands in a tree about 30 feet up. Falls, and I guess that's how he snapped his leg.
Damn, that dude has both of his friends die, and his leg gets snapped. He still makes it to a ranger station. Give me an episode about that badass motherfucker. Sorry, I try not to cuss so much, but I get excited and it just slips out.
Oh my God, Alex, call this in. Attention all rangers. We have human remains at my location.
Yep.
Send disposal units. Do a final sweep of the trail as well. We don't need anybody stumbling across any more remains that might be close. All right, let's hurry this up and find any other remains that might be around here. Oh my God, Alex! Jesus Christ, it ripped into shreds. There's nothing but pieces left. Oh my God.
He's like, I just can't win with
They
this.
better get here quickly.
Steve just hates his job. Steve is so done with this freaking job. Thank you very much. Kane Pixels Backrooms. Okay, I'll add it to the list, see what else I can find. But Steve is so done with this job. Every video that Steve has been a part of, which has been every video, he's just so upset at everything he has to do because of this job. I
We need to
love
clean
it.
this up. This is bad. Steve? Yeah. Found the tent.
That's cool.
Holy shit. He wasn't lying.
He wasn't lying. I would hope he wouldn't be.
At least 30 feet.
That's awesome.
Hey,
Steve hates his job.
that's a camera. No way.
They have camera footage? Oh, nice. I wasn't expecting that, honestly.
campsite is about a mile over there, but honestly, I don't feel like going. It's gonna be crowded, it's gonna be loud, and I think we should just go off the trail and find a space for ourselves.
Congratulations, you just killed 2 of you.
I don't know. The rangers were pretty clear that we're not supposed to camp
Always listen
anywhere
to the
except the
cameraman.
designated spots.
Come on, man, I brought the radio. Yeah, man, we can listen to some tunes. Besides, it's like a mile away. We can get help.
If your friends ever look you in the eyes and say, hey, don't worry, it's only a mile away, just know if you are in perfect, healthy shape and you have no woods and you are running directly for where they say that the safe designated camp spots are, a mile away at full speed is still at least 4 minutes away. At least. And that's being really generous with your time. There's no way in the middle of the woods while being attacked or chased, you are going to make it to a designated safe spot in less than 4 minutes, especially when those Wendigos can run 45 miles per hour. Now, this isn't a Wendigo, but still, 45 miles per hour. And if it is something that's 45 feet tall, don't think it matters if you can make it a mile away from it. Motherfucker walks 12 steps, and all of a sudden he's right there with you. So don't do that.
I don't really feel like hiking another mile anyway.
I would.
Come on, let's go.
Cameraman's stupid. Thank you, Ricky. Also, if you've ever been out in the woods in the middle of the night, it's terrifying. It is pitch black darkness, and if there's no stars or anything.
Yeah, it's not half bad.
Sure as shit not gonna do that if
Start setting
there's
it up.
monsters out in the middle of the woods.
You know what? This isn't half bad.
Told you.
It's not that bad.
Got ourselves a nice little cozy spot for us.
We passed a nice diner on the way up here. You want to meet the others for breakfast tomorrow?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
The Alps at
Yeah,
midnight, I bet that
cool
was
with that.
awesome.
How's the radio all staticky?
I think we're in the middle of the woods.
Bet when there's no monsters around, it's a lot easier to relax. I don't know how these 3 are doing it. I wouldn't have even gone to this
It's
part.
an old radio, but where'd you buy that piece of crap?
Congratulations. You guys did not listen to the pamphlet.
Did you break it?
Yeah, what the heck is wrong with it?
That's really loud. What was that?
Well, we don't have earthquakes in Washington, do we?
I just ate.
bear?
Oh my god! And it's nighttime. We found out earlier in the stream it's nighttime. I mean, we found out during nighttime they're invisible. So this is the epitome of the top of the rank walkers, because the walkers can grow from 12 to 45 feet. That's crazy. It's mostly just watching, but you can call it reacts. You're welcome to join. You're welcome not to, man. No problem. That's crazy. So they got literally the biggest type of walker you could get.
You crazy?
Yeah, I'm gonna go check it out.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's the
What are you
dumbest
doing?
thing.
We gotta go, man.
Why is Dallas doing that?
I don't know. Hey, what do you see? Dallas!
Wow.
Dallas! Dallas!
That's pretty cool.
Dallas!
Definitely wouldn't run into it. Sorry, bud, you're dead now.
No. Mark, we gotta go.
I got a gun.
We have to find the ranger.
All right, got it.
I'm not a huge Redditor. Well, if it makes you feel any better, Real Zoomer, a lot of people like ARGs and they like to watch it with someone, so that's what we're doing. But that's okay if you don't like it, man. And if you, funny thing is if you know any of my content, which I very much know you don't, this is literally the very first time I've ever done any sort of watch with me stream. It's almost always video games, but I appreciate you, my guy. Thank you for supporting.
Did you see anything?
I don't see anything.
I wouldn't be seeing anything. I would be running. You wouldn't catch me.
Mark! Where are you? Mark! Answer me!
Yep, there goes Mark. Bye, Mark.
No. No.
I've always...
Ah!
You treat me so good. Plus, I would say there's a difference between reacting like just, oh, wow, that's awesome, and actually giving input to what you're watching, which is what I try to do, especially since it's a ARG. You have to use at least some type of brain power whenever you're watching these. It's not like oh wait, I think I do know a reference to a streamer. It's not like Sniper Wolf and just sitting there, ah. But that's only because of what's been happening with Jack's film that I even know that. There you go, man. That's all it takes. I appreciate you coming in and commenting. That sends more traffic my way. But if you don't like it, man, you're not required to stay. I promise you, not gonna hurt me, man. I've never understood why people run into tents whenever you're like being attacked or something. That tent has no protection whatsoever. But I guess in this instance, it did save his life. Like, I know he's not thinking it now, but like 2 years later, my man's gonna be like, wow, that tent, that saved me. Like, yeah, both your friends are dead, and your leg was broken, and you had to find your way to a ranger station, but hey, you're alive. Notice how they said it threw him 30 feet up into a tree, but it threw him across the park. That was what they said earlier, straight across the park. So that is our last one for Woodlands National Park. I do want to show you guys. I have like 3 other channels, so I definitely follow them elsewhere. But you guys see they have a Patreon. If you want to support them, by all means, you're welcome to. Right now, they only have about 3 people supporting them. But you get different memberships and, you know, different little stuff like that. It just helps them out. So next, we have a couple of things. We have This Room Does Not Exist, which is 3 seasons, I believe. 2 full seasons, and then the 3rd season has 2 episodes. But it doesn't look like they're continuing it anymore, or they're taking a very extended break, which I've heard it both ways. We also have Pets Cop, which I've heard very good things about, but don't know a lot about. If we're looking for more horror style, still with the Vita, I'm down with that. Living Meat Research documentary. Go back. I wanted to look at it. Oh no, there it is. Okay. Oh, it looks like at some point I must have clicked on one of these, but I definitely didn't watch it. Oh, is that the whole oh, that's what I just clicked on. So this is all 7 of these put together into one major thing. Coincidence that your favorite jacket's orange? Orange is a great color, my guy. Never goes out of style. All right, we'll give it a shot. I'm always down for it. Meat Research. Love it. Warning, this video talks about and shows imagery of graphic content. Federal law provides severe civil and criminal penalties. The possession of this footage may lead to an investigation or detention. $500,000, man. Ooh. Oh no, we're still muted.
Life has thrived for millions of years. Creatures big and small have found ways to adapt and evolve to flourish in all types of environments. From barren wastes to lush forests, life can be found. Earth has homed these creatures since the dawn of life itself. Only until very recently,
I'll have to
things
check
have
it out.
changed. New life forms have appeared all around the globe and completely changing the balance of nature and what we know about evolution itself. That is why we, at National Living Meat Research, have been
National
studying
Living
these new species, trying to help educate everyone about these creatures and their wondrous...
I'm just going to go ahead and say it now because I feel like this is where it's going to go. If these mother truckers start cutting up random animals and feeding them to people, which I feel is what's about to happen, because why else would it be called National Living Meat Research if not to research meat? That's gross. That's very gross.
ways of life. First, what are these new life forms? Since their explosive arrival across the globe in 1931, there has been much
1931. Okay, I'm going to keep that one to myself.
debate on what these newcomers are and where they came from. Are they extraterrestrials coming to invade Earth? Or are they demons who come from hell to purge humanity? From what our scientists have discovered, no. The origins of these creatures are solely to Earth, miraculously out of nowhere. We don't know why or how, but one thing is for certain, Earth is now their home. What these creatures are is mysterious and still not well known today. But here is what we do know.
1931 is... I wasn't going to do a World War II. I was going to do a Depression joke. I was thinking, like, these mother truckers really let the Depression hit. And then they were like, you know what? We've got war. We've got Depression. Let's just start pumping out some meat, quote-unquote meat. And I'm just... It is exactly. And I'm wondering now if it wasn't... Since it's a National Living Meat Research Institute, if it's not just, I don't know, man. Oh my gosh. I love this part of ARGs is when your mind starts swirling, when you're just trying to come up with what some semblance of an idea of what it actually could be. And right now my mind is going a mile a minute trying to figure it out. And I literally have only watched 1 minute and 41 seconds. That's how you know it's a good one.
These creatures are comprised mainly of muscle tissue, organs, and bones. They greatly resemble animals with no skin, or store-bought
That
meat.
would freak me
Because
out.
of these characteristics, they have been named accordingly as Vita carnis.
Okay.
The carnis species consume decaying, organic matter, but their main diet is composed of raw meat, not including their carnis relatives. The carnis only appear in places where there's an abundance of crawl, which leads to the first creature of the carnis species, the crawl. The
like a
crawl
tree.
is a growth of meaty tendrils that closely resemble the small
Process into chemical energy. Process bio, I'm guessing. Grows.
intestine, the only difference being the dark red coloration. These tendrils grow in a similar pattern as vines, mold, or fungi.
Okay.
A primary stem structure is the host to divisions of other, smaller branches. In each tendril contains a variety of veins, arteries, and other similar organs used to transport nutrients absorbed from its surroundings. The ends of these tendrils are equipped with organelles used to absorb water and organic matter necessary for growth. The source of these organic materials is mainly found in dirt and soil on surrounding surfaces.
Oh my goodness.
Using its root-like tendrils,
Mother
it
trucker,
absorbs
you did not just skip all those pictures with all that information. They trying to play games in this ARG. You ain't
Tendril
skipping.
contains a variety of veins, arteries, and other similar organs used to transport nutrients absorbed from its surroundings. The ends of these tendrils are equipped with organelles used to absorb water and organic matter necessary for growth.
Real zoomer, I just
The
saw
source
that.
of these organic materials is mainly found in dirt and soil on surrounding surfaces.
Okay. Photographed by Bear Macabre, photographed by Anonymous, photographed by Spite of Artemis. That's a weird name. So we have a tree that's fallen down, it's overgrown, a rock where it's growing up into it, and then a house where it's grown up into it. Bear Macabre and Spite of Artemis. And then Anonymous. Anonymous could actually be a name. You never know. It could be just like the people, the hacker group. Could be Anonymous, not that one, but someone who names himself Anonymous, or it could be actually Anonymous. We don't know.
Using its root-like tendrils, it absorbs the material and processes it into usable energy. Although, the crawl also obtains energy through another means. Using a sophisticated form of
Processes
photosynthesis,
solar energy into
the
chemical
dark
energy.
pigmentation of the smaller branches is ideal for absorbing sunlight, and therefore allowing solar energy to fuel the crawl's growth. Because of its efficiency,
Does that mean because the crawl, if that one never came into contact with any living organic material, non-Cardis, it would still grow exponentially no matter what because of photosynthesis? That sucks. That means no matter what, it's just always going to be there.
it thrives in almost all types of environments,
That's even
easily
worse.
allowing it to spread across the world, and can be
Can
found
handle
pretty
high
much
intense heat
anywhere.
and low temperature.
Its recent inclusion in the ecosystem has caused many major changes in nature's balance. One may assume that the crawl's presence may outcompete any other competitors, but due to its unique life cycle, where old branches fall off and decay into nutrient-rich compost, all forms of life seemingly flourish instead.
Okay.
The crawl's abundance grants plenty of nourishment to all animals, from plants feeding on the decayed crawl, herbivores thriving on increased plant population, and carnivores feeding on both the abundant prey, and are able to eat the crawl as well. The presence of all these animals leave behind waste, which will be broken down and consumed by the crawl, and the cycle begins again. This form of symbiosis leads to an environment where all populations thrive. Humanity also uses the crawl to our advantage.
Oh my god. Swallow some spit. Oh god, that got me. So one thing I wanted to just say out loud so that way it was out there. Did at any point they say when the crawl became a thing yet, or is this a universe where that's just always been since the beginning of time, and now it's just reached a point in science and technology where they can study it? Don't know. Might have not heard it, but just throwing it out there so I can think about it later.
Because of the supernatural rate of growth and its
That's
richness
another one
in
by Esther.
nutrients, it has been sustainably cultivated into domestic farms. The crawl is harvested and processed into fertilizer, which greatly increases crop yield and quality. The crawl may also be used as a food source for humans, and reliably so. But due to its unkindly appearance and taste, it has yet to reach cuisine standards.
Unkindly taste.
The crawl also plays a very important role in the next creatures that we have been
1, 2, 3,
studying.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Sometimes, in a crawl-populated environment, a node of meat may develop on one of the branches. This node will fall off and grow into a functioning organism, and go to live on as an independent animal.
You know how just weird and creepy it would be to be walking, say, we're going to go explore this abandoned building. You know, something like a random teenager would do. And you just walk in there and there's just branches all along the walls. And as you go throughout your walkthrough of this house and you come back to the beginning of the house where all these branches were, there's just little nodes of meat hanging off this branch that just starts popping off and turning into creepy crawlies. I don't think I would want to live on that world. I don't think so.
This leads us to the upcoming species that we will be discussing. The first of these creatures are the trimmings.
Trimmings. Okay.
The trimmings.
Whoa. How do we do this? I know there's a way to do it. I just got to figure it out. Oh, I hated that. No, go back. Oh, I hate when they do that. There's a way to do it. I just got to figure out how you do it. That's all right, Eraser Cat. Have a good one, my man. There's something there. There's a way to do it frame by frame, but you have to hold it. Yeah, there it is. You can do it frame by frame this way. I have not. Oh, can you? You are a gorgeous human being. I just want you to know that. Oh, there it was. No, stop it. Why'd you do that? I have to read it or it's going to annoy me this entire video. If you don't go trimming, okay. Once upon a time, a distant kingdom. The kingdom was... Oh, and then it gets too crazy. I wonder if this was made or if this is something from a previous... Bye, Racer. Is a, like... previous, tale already told, or if this was one they made. Gosh, I wish I could see it. I'm gonna have to look it up, see if there's a clear image one.
Trimmings are small animals that resemble skinned raccoons.
70% muscle, 77% muscle and fat. Muscle and fat. Large, major, something, body is flesh. That's disgusting.
They are commonly known to have a plump body, round
Skinned
head,
raccoons.
small eyes, nose and ear holes, and an agape mouth. They are also equipped with a diversity of limbs. All individual trimmings are unique, each with a different body shape, number
cool.
of limbs, and other characteristics.
That is pretty interesting.
One thing they all share in common is that they are made mostly of meat tissue, and are a maximum of 20 centimeters in length, no larger than a basketball.
Okay.
Its life starts with its separation from the crawl. It will wonder to find anything that is edible and able to consume. Although it is an omnivore, being able to hunt meat and forage for plant matter, trimmings are almost entirely scavengers. Their diet consists of rotting plants and meat, including, but not limited to, fruits, vegetables, roots, seeds, insects, and deceased animals.
Humans count as deceased animals. I'm gonna go ahead and say
Although
that now.
its appearance is unsightly, it is a
Ooh.
cowardly creature, only
What's
fleeing.
that look like? Oh my god, what is it from? The naked mole rat. That's what it's reminding me of, the naked mole rat. I can't remember what the hell that's from, but there was a show that had a naked mole rat on it. I don't know, I don't remember when, but I know it was there, and that's what that reminds me of.
Screeching, and hiding when threatened. Because of its lack of defensive traits, it lies near the bottom of the food chain, making it easily overpowered and picked off very regularly by predators. Naturally, its population would eventually die out. This is not the case.
Oh, they did it again, man. They did it again. They don't think I'm going to stop and check, but I'm going to stop and check. That's the whole point. I know we all saw it. Mass trimming infestation. Estimated 400 plus trimmings gathered under a large abandoned satellite dish. The reasons are unknown to why this is. Alright.
Is not the case. The crawl constantly produces a large quantity of trimming nodes.
Kim Possible, thank you,
numbers.
Clem. Thank you.
Naturally,
They were hunted
trimmings can
down.
be found wherever there is abundant crawl.
Zoomer, if I'm about to hear that trimmings were hunted down and used as meat for human consumption, I just want to let it be known that I called it, but that's a pretty easy call, but I'm still disgusted.
Trimmings grow at a decent pace, reaching maturity at around 7 months, having a maximum lifespan of 2 to 4 years. Although they are plentiful, humanity has no proper way to implement trimmings into society.
Okay.
Their overabundance has even considered.
I'm not like, I enjoy the pictures. The pictures are awesome. They're great. Just for some reason, whenever I saw this picture, I imagined the sea turtle from Nemo. It just looks like he's like saying hi and are really like, "Saw, dude." 2 more pictures by Anonymous, though.
Pests, due to them digging through trash
Who
bins
is Vontae?
and making excessive noise at night. Besides all of this, some people still keep trimmings as pets and relatively domesticate them.
Never.
Nuisance or not, trimmings are a wondrous creature. From their plentiful numbers to their skittish nature, they are truly a thing to behold. The next species on our list is the meat snake.
Meat snake. Gotta. Oh,
The meat snake.
you better stop it right now. During the travels of one of their something. A great storm struck. It was so powerful it swayed the boat, the royal family, and pushed the prince out and into the sea. Okay, so I'm guessing that first, and it's page 2. I see it at the bottom. Okay. Yeah, exactly. If you were to look up ARG, like Google it, most of the like top 10, top 15 ARGs, they're going to mention the SCP, which I don't know anything about SCP besides, having read through the first like opening page of that website and just seeing what it was about. Very extensive. It's very extensive. To get into SCP, you gonna have to do a lot of background knowledge of it, at least from what they said on their first front page. But going back to this, so this is either one that they're wanting to do themselves that's just gonna correlate with something to do with the overall story. But I'm guessing the first page, the one we couldn't really read that much of, introduced the king, the queen, and the prince, because it looked like it just had those 3. Now they've gone on a trip and the prince has been pushed out to sea. And we can definitely tell it's the sequel to the first page because there's a number 2 at the very bottom.
The meat snake. The meat snake is a worm-like creature
reality.
made of a variety of types of meat, coated in a transparent variety of
stop that. I'm trying to read. Oh, I can barely read it.
types of meat, coated in a
transparent coating that acts as the brain and nervous system, holds the body together, and contains the preserving fluids to keep the meat and organs from decaying. So, I mean, it's basically, it's a skin, but it's transparent. That is gross.
skin-like membrane.
Gross.
Its size varies during its lifespan, depending on how much it consumes. When it first separates from the crawl, it is only a few centimeters in length. Eventually, it will reach an average length of 5 meters. Although, under extreme conditions, like natural disasters, war, or plague, it can greatly surpass this length.
These guys are playing. So during natural disaster, war, or plague, it can greatly surpass the length of 15 feet. Does that mean it feasts on, like, I'm guessing decayed human remains or just decayed remains? God, that means if it was at, like, a war site, it'd be feasting for days. It would be having a blast in, like, Gaza or something like that right now. My goodness. Largest meat. During a sweep of underground sediments made during the war, a massive-sized meat snake was discovered stuck inside an underground railway. The beast was measured at a total of 40 meters in length. It is believed that bodies gathered during the war were fed to the creature, causing it to reach an unbelievable size. Everything else is redacted, but then we see highlighted cult activity. That makes sense. I mean, we already have cults, and that took place here in 1947. 1947, just after the war. Yep. That's crazy. Oh my God, that's crazy. So it didn't give a location, because I was like, man, if that was like based under a internment camp or anything like that, that thing fed.
Surpass this length. The meat snake's diet consists entirely of dead animals or parts. A meat snake is incapable of consuming a healthy, living organism.
Wonder why.
The meat snake allocates its food by using a tongue-like.
Meat snake's tongue shares great resemblance to the reptilian snake tongues, being able to feel their environment and collect particles.
Organ covered in sensors to touch and feel its environment. The sensors catch particles of decaying meat, notifying the meat snake that there is food nearby. This process shares many similarities to regular snakes, hence the meat snake's name. Once it locates the corpse, the meat snake will open its jaw and swallow the entire body whole. Once the entire body is consumed, the meat snake's stomach will release a variety of chemicals. Some will break down soft tissue like skin, and the connection points between muscles. Others chemicals will then ferment and preserve the tissue to keep it from breaking down for as long as possible. After that, the remaining flesh and bones will move along the meat snake's tract, and slowly be implemented into its own structure, extending the meat snake. Unsatisfactory parts like skulls, pelvises, hair, and fingernails will be excreted. Speaking of skulls, the meat snake will take the skull from the consumed organism and use it as its own. Each meat snake has its own skull, each
Cool.
corresponding to what that one has consumed. During its lifespan, it will swap or replace these skulls if needed. A meat snake's lifespan depends entirely on how much a meat snake consumes. The longest one has lived for was 28 years.
28 years.
The
Hot
meat snake
damn.
has no predators and is immune to disease due to its preserving chemicals. The only significant ways a meat snake can die is through starvation, burning, or complete destruction of the meat snake's membrane coating. Interestingly, the meat snake is
Hey,
the only
Esther
member
again.
of the Carnies family that is able to reproduce. When a meat snake reaches an excessive size, and is in the conditions to do so, it will commence mitosis, splitting itself in two. Then the now two meat snakes will go on their separate ways and live on as two distinct organisms. Meat snakes can only be found in moderate temperature climates, not
I have an intense fear of snakes. Intense fear. And just imagining. Oh, my puppy's here something. And just imagining walking around and then all of a sudden seeing a snake split into another snake and then just act like nothing happened and continuing on, I would lose my mind. I have to fix my hair. Oh my goodness. That's insane though. I hate that. Also, if you hear puppies in the background, I have 2 dogs, both Frenchies. One's named Evie, one's named Eeyore. And sometimes they get very, very loud.
not too hot, not too cold.
You guys good?
Their population depends entirely on the amount of corpses available. Where there is death, there are meat snakes.
Oh, I bet.
Humanity will use them to our advantage. Meat snakes are a very efficient and clean way of disposing of any meat products. The preserving fluid within the meat snake's body disinfects the carrion, preventing the spread of disease. Humans use meat snakes in butcher shops as a waste bin, dispose roadkill, within war on the battlefield to dispose of festering bodies and parts, and within zoos to dispose of deceased animals.
Interesting.
They are extremely tame, not caring if any creature is around them, only acting defensively when it is within consuming a meal. This means they are very easy to tame. Overall, meat snakes are
Wow,
a
that's well
marvelous
done.
creature with a very interesting way of sustaining itself. It is an
Hey,
amazing
Killian.
experience to encounter one, as long as you don't mind the smell. Our next creature is the mimic.
Nope. I can tell you right now, absolutely freaking not. Did you see that? Absolutely not. What in the world? No. These people live in a world that I would... brother, I'm feeling something. Alright, after being stranded at sea, the young prince eventually was cast to an island. Injured, the prince stumbled his way into a nearby cave. The prince used what magic he could to put himself into a healing sleep. Alright?
The mimic.
Yeah. Fudge this.
The mimic is a bipedal
Nope.
creature with
Cody.
uncanny similarities to humanoid anatomy. They
No.
greatly resemble humans without skin, with
No.
added exaggerated features. These features include extended finger length, longer limbs, bulging, empty eyes, and their most prominent feature, a wide, teeth-filled smile. Although it resembles a happy face, this is due to coincidence.
Mouth contains almost entirely incisors with a few... I can't even read that last part. Oh my gosh, this is the worst one so far. I don't know what's going to come after this because I think we have like 4 more. But this one's definitely the worst one so far.
And is only how their facial structure is shaped. The maw of the mimic contains much more
Canine
teeth than
and
humans,
premolars.
and their teeth is comprised almost entirely of incisors, with some canine and premolars in the back. This tooth composition is ideal for biting down on meat and swallowing chunks whole. A mature mimic's diet is comprised entirely of human flesh.
I'm sorry. Comprised almost entirely of human flesh. So this is the first... I'm like, this. I would shit a brick if I saw this thing. But this is the first meat, Vita Carnis. There it is. That it didn't specifically state dead flesh or anything like that, or dying animal or dead animal or anything like that. It's the first time it said human flesh, and it didn't put the fact that it had to be, dead. It just said human flesh. Pointing that out for my own sake, but it needs to be said.
Because of this, they are found solely around human-populated areas. The mimic's life cycle is made of 3 stages.
Brother, I'm gonna be living in Alaska.
In the first stage, a young mimic separates from the crawl. They closely resemble their trimming relatives, but are thin, sleek, and only have 4 appendages. In this stage, the young mimic will hunt small animals, moving on to larger and larger as they grow. Once large enough, it will begin metamorphosis into the next stage of life. Once fully transformed, it will resemble the description mentioned in the beginning. Its hunting style changes and becomes much more complicated. It now stalks and feeds only on humans. It will locate human-populated area and begin its search for an easy target. To blend in, it may use objects to conceal itself. These include clothing, mannequins, and furniture.
Just imagine
Once
like
a target has been found, the mimic will observe its prey and
by clothing, does it just mean whatever it can find, or does it like try to find specific clothing that could fit it? Just imagine like who is it? Like Cartman or Kyle from South Park just being in like that clothing on top of like a 7-foot mimic just standing there like, it's all good. I am a human. No need to worry.
learn its routine and when it is most vulnerable. This is typically when the human is asleep at night. Once
of course,
the prey is within
gotta
position,
have
the mimic will advance
a being
silently
that'll try to
until
kill
it is
you at
close
night.
enough. The mimic will then execute and immediately begin consumption. Once the mimic has had its fill, it will leave the scene, a fair distance away from the human population, and begin to digest its meal.
Stationary mimic found outside of town, presumably digesting last night's meal. Photographed by Spite of Artemis. That's the second time we've seen Spite of Artemis. If I stumbled upon that, I wonder, like, prop hunt IRL. Dude, that makes it even worse, because in prop hunt, you can at least put up decoys. Imagine you go out to the woods and see 4 of these things standing right next to each other, and you shoot one and the other 3 just turn and look at you like, what the? Dude, I'd lose it. Yep, that's a big no-no. Spite of Artemis, though. That's the second time they've been mentioned.
Is awake, a mimic will use a variety of sounds to either lure or startle prey into corner.
Oh my god, dude. I heard that knock, and I thought someone was at my window. Oh my god, I had to check it.
Themselves. Once a human is in place, it will swiftly attack and kill the helpless target.
I'm just gonna say, if that thing's already in your house, you're dead. I don't think there's any making it out of that. Yeah, for real. It's in your house. You're basically screwed at that point. I'm sorry, but a 7-foot monster that can eat you whole? I wouldn't have done that.
The next stage of the mimic's life cycle has 2 potential morphs it may.
Nope, 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 nope. Big old bulging eyes, which, yeah, you gotta be like, you're looking at it from a computer point of view, so you're kind of like, it's not that scary. If it's the middle of the night, and I hear someone banging on my door and I make it to the closet, I don't give a shit what they look like. If they come around that corner looking like anything but human, I'm terrified. Oh my goodness, yeah, these are definitely my least favorite so far.
They develop
These would
into.
suck.
If a mimic has a consistent supply of food, it will develop more human-like features. It will grow skin, hair, and by the end will look nearly identical to a human being.
Okay.
It now can blend entirely into civilization and lure other humans more effectively.
That's even worse.
The second type of morph happens when a mimic receives an overabundance of food. It will grow into a larger, more evolved hunter. Its proportions will increase in length,
Elder
and
mimic?
its
Now there's elder beings? Flexible, rotating. Oh.
humanoid features will fade away. It grows a thick, dark coating of a flexible skin, which is highly durable, and increases in strength the more the elder mimic consumes. This excludes the face, which is now.
You can suck a fat one, brother. Thank you, Attila. Good to see you joined, man. We decided to check out ARGs today. You're telling me that... So now we know for a fact that everyone basically has of evolution. I can't remember the name of the first ones, but I'm going to call them critters, for lack of a better term. They can get bigger. The snakes can evolve into multiple. And now the mimics, once they've had an overconsumption, also the snakes can get up to like super big. We learned from the newspaper clipping. So also, now these suckers, once they eat too much, you just straight up, it just becomes even stronger. It gets an extra coating of armor. It gets faster. This is just, that's crazy.
Now coated in a pale pink skin.
I need to remove CC. Elder Mimic photographed by Matthias S.
The mimic's teeth have also moved deeper into the mimic's throat, leaving its mouth a toothless grin. It uses
Lure
the
him into
dark
the
hue
woods.
of its skin to
Got
hide
some bathwater
seamlessly
for
within
you.
a dark environment. Its skills have also been heightened. This makes an elder mimic one of the most efficient predators on the planet.
Dude, oh my goodness.
Because of the obvious threat this poses on humanity, nations around the world have released instructions on how to be able to fend for yourself in a mimic encounter.
You don't,
Here are the
you die.
instructions.
1. Avoid going out alone if your location is known to have mimics, or there have been mimic sightings.
If your area is known to have mimics, they said that mimics are known to be in the area of any place where humans congregate. So that means you just have to buddy system 24/7.
2. If you encounter a stationary
Gilberto, no, I've done a few other ones.
mimic, seemingly unfazed by your presence, quietly leave the location and alert your local authorities.
Quietly.
3. If pursued by a mimic, get yourself into a position where you are able to flee. Mimics will rarely attack if a person has a clear escape route. 4.
Pretty much.
In
Till
the
it gets it.
event that you have been cornered by a mimic, roll into the fetal position,
Roll?
protecting your neck, face, and vital organs from attack. Make as much noise as you can to alert any other people. 5.
I'm going to tell you right now, and this is going to make me sound like a terrible human being, but I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know right now. If I hear someone screaming, there's an elder mimic, or even just a regular mimic, screw the elder part, there's a mimic attacking me. You know what I'm going to do? Sucks to suck, brother. I'm out. And I'm dipping. I am running. You know why? Because what the hell am I going to do to that thing? We're both human, brother. Unless you have superpowers or I have superpowers, we're screwed. I'm not taking that thing out.
If you have a weapon, do not use it. A mimic is fairly resilient, and any strikes or shots on a mimic is not effective enough to bring it down in time.
In time, so it can hurt them, but not fast enough. I hope these instructions are not some lies to make them stronger. Attila, if you are telling me secrets that I don't know yet, ooh, me and you are going to have words. We're going to have words. But that does suck. So they're saying even if you have a weapon, nah, just ball up. Just let it do its thing and scream. That's all you can do. So, like, I know this is, like, completely out of the ordinary, but, like, if someone just had, like, a desert eagle, I'd try. Shit, if I had a freaking 22, I'm at least going to try. Made by some secret government. See, the secret government part I've been calling. I've been saying something about secret government. You better not, Attila.
Instead, use it as a barrier between you and the mimic to block any attacks. 6. In a situation where a mimic is hunting in the immediate area and is not aware of your position, hide somewhere low, like under a bed.
This spatial audio is messing with me really badly. What if it was your son calling for help? Well, good thing I don't have a son. I have a daughter, and I would die for her. But maybe not in that situation. At that point, you just kind of got to move on, I'm guessing. It's a 1,000-yard stare. God, that would suck. That's a terrible way to go about it, Zoomer. Why'd you have to say that? Because now I'm like contemplating in my head. I'm like, well, you know, worth a shot. There's nothing you can do, though.
Or behind other furniture. A mimic will not linger too long to search for prey and will move on.
Be safe and avoid any encounters with a mimic at all costs. Next up, the harvester.
Harvester.
The harvester.
Aha. There was that page 4? You're just, I can already tell these harvesters are going to be... Let's see. But the prince's sleep was long. He slept for what seemed like forever. As he slept, the land around him changed and grew. It was unrecognizable from when the prince first arrived. But the sleep still needed time to heal the prince. Much more time, but it kept the prince safe while he rested, guarding him from the elements as the land changed. Okay.
The harvester. The harvester is a large, bulbous mass with a large amount of tendrils spreading from the base.
Oh, it's the oh god, 1980s, man. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's the main ship. That was what was in the main ship, basically. If you've ever seen that movie.
3 meters in height and 2 meters in diameter.
It was way bigger in the movie, though.
The tendrils, on the other hand, can extend up to 150 meters in diameter horizontally. The harvester is a specialized form of crawl that grows in a unique and deadly way.
I wouldn't try getting close to it.
Harvester
If it's going underground, I wouldn't even go near it.
Grow into a harvester. Instead of separating, continues to grow. Eventually, it will grow tendrils of its own. It uses the energy provided by its mother branch and expands its reach further. Its tendrils, hidden just below the surface of the ground. The harvester is equipped with 2 types of specialized tendrils. The first type is bulky and flat. They lie the closest to the surface. These branches are lined on each length of the tendril with spines, extending in the shape of a bear trap. On each side of the branch, those particular spines have a vein that feed into them, that pump 2 types of venom. On one side, the spines can inject a neurotoxin, which will attack the nervous system of whomever it is injected into, causing sudden paralysis. The other side can inject an anticoagulant, which when injected, prevents blood cells from clotting. Whenever a large animal moves across the area armed with these tendrils, the branches will clamp onto the animal and thrash violently. Once the prey has been injected with both venoms, the tendrils will rest and the prey will immediately collapse.
I was thinking that myself.
The animal will be unable to move due to the paralysis.
I'm just going to say, if I am walking along a trail and all of a sudden, even if you step into like a real bear trap, it would suck. But step into that, oh my gosh. Yeah, they're doing a really good job. I was pointing that out with, we watched an ARG before this, Attila. That's the Buddy Productions, the Woodlands National Park, ARG. And I was saying with their production, it doesn't take much, but if you put in a little bit of effort like they're doing right here with these photos, it really pays off. It brings you to, like, into the world a little bit, and I think it's a really good job. Thank you, Morton.
And the wounds caused by the thrashing
and then it just absorbs it, I'm guessing.
Bleeding. All the prey can do is lie patiently, until succumbing to blood loss. Once the prey has bled out, the second type of tendrils come in. They lie below the spine equipped once. These branches are thick, but very sturdy. They share similar anatomy to the small branches of the crawl, equipped with organelle that absorbs nutrients. These tendrils sense the blood, and move their way to the surface and begin to absorb the vital fluid. Once the blood has been consumed, the tendrils will wrap around the body and begin to shuffle downwards. This movement loosens the soil and slowly pull the body underground. Once secure, the tendrils will continue to feed until there is nothing but scraps. The nourishment absorbed by the tendrils will be sucked back into the main bulb of the harvester. This bulb houses all the vital organs and the venom glands that pump into
Alistair's angel. I'm just pointing that out. God, that got way bigger than I thought it could. So that means whoever's taking this picture right now, they're basically they're dead. I would assume either that or they're really freaking lucky because they are way closer than I would want to be to one of these things, especially when it's that big already.
the spines. The nutrients are then converted into usable
Oh, he's moving
energy.
around, taking multiple pictures.
The remains underground decompose, providing a rich soil, causing very prominent plant growth, which then attracts more animals.
Okay, that makes sense.
A strange behavior the harvester displays.
That would make a lot of sense, because then if, like, a predator's chasing a prey, like a small rabbit, and the rabbit happens to go near the bulb, they would know the bulb is a safe spot for them, but not so safe for the bigger prey. Over time, they would learn this. That's pretty interesting. I like that.
Plays as its choice of diet. The spines will only activate on larger animals, allowing smaller ones to pass by unaffected. The spines will also not activate on some species of bird. There are a couple theories as to why this happens. One, it could be that attacking smaller animals would cost too much energy for what they get in return, making it not worth the time. Another could be that smaller animals may attract larger animals or predators, allowing a safe place where prey may thrive and lure more predators. It truly is astonishing. Although it is a spectacular creature, it is also very dangerous. The harvester is decently rare, only populating sparse areas in the northern hemisphere and would.
It's decently rare, and then it basically highlights over half the earth.
Woodland forests.
Okay, forest areas.
If you are stung by a harvester, there will be no way of helping you,
you
being
die.
that there is no cure, and fatality is 100% positive.
There it was. You're lying. 100% fatality rate, though. That means that person who took the picture, I mean, just the biggest set of cojones on that man. Or woman. I don't, either or. Come here. Where you at? Nope. Authorities realized to handle the harvester. Family attacked. Ooh, a family was attacked by harvester while hiking. Authorities. Can't see it. To handle the harvester. Okay. We can get much out of that besides a family was attacked.
The best thing you can do is avoid encountering a harvester in the first place. If you are hiking, take note of any warnings or signs saying that there are harvesters around.
Have signs up for
If you also notice an abundance of lush, ground-dwelling plants in a forested area, and there are no signs of wildlife, this is suspicious and you should leave the area, staying close to.
I love how it's like, oh, if you see a beautiful forested area with lovely plants, no animals, just dip, just leave. Like, bro, that's like half the woods, man.
The base of large trees or rocks. If you find yourself in the middle of a harvester ground, do not panic. Sudden movements may activate the tendrils and will inject you. Although a harvester is rather forgiving, do not risk any skittish movements. Remain calm. If you have any objects with considerable heft, like coats, backpacks, or full water bottles, gently take that object and lightly toss it towards the bulb and away from your escape route. This will activate the spines on where the object lands, distracting the bulb for a moment. You will then slowly begin to do wide shuffles away from the bulb. If possible, throw another object when you are certain you are a fair enough distance away, just to be safe. Continue until you are completely sure you are out of harm's way.
That seemed like a pretty legitimate
way to
get away.
Unscathed, but don't be too obnoxious, or you will be a harvester's next meal.
Alistair's angel again.
Next up
My
is
halo.
The host.
You know what it is? There's this one part of my blinds that is just like, for some reason, slightly off comparatively to the other ones, and it's just coming right in, right there. There it is. Let me go. There we go.
The host of influence.
Stop it. The host of influence. Every monster, I'm like, it can't get worse. It just can't. Dorothy, it could be really anything. I have no like set preferences. I like MMOs, RPGs, FPSs, all that. Despite this, something during a time of hardship, the critters were struggling, barely any food to go. They had to gather whatever they could. And that's page 5. So this takes place, I'm guessing, while the prince is asleep.
The host of influence.
I don't want to see a host.
The host of influence, more commonly referred to as the host, has its name derived from a host who invites guests to an event. Not to be confused with a host, a harborer of parasites or disease. The host is a semi-humanoid looking organism. It has the structure of a head, torso, and arms. Other than this, it shares no other characteristics.
It's just like Goliath.
The lower half of the host is comprised of a mass of fibrous tissue and tendrils that burrow into the ground to hold the host in place. Instead of skin, the host is covered in muscular tissue fibers, tendons, and veins. In some parts of the body are covered in a meaty plate, used to cover any large exposed areas, but allowing movement. The host's head has a smooth surface where the face should be, attached to a crooked neck, which houses a slit in the front used for feeding. On the host's back is a mound of pores. Protruding from these pores are hollow, hair-like structures, extending outwards. These hairs are barrels that release spores produced within host's body by being fired into the air. These spores are hazardous, so keep clear of them at all costs. Luckily, the host is...
What? Yeah, the host is freaking... That man looked jacked, brother. Imagine, like, not paying attention and just walking up on one of them, like, less than 5 feet away. Is that all it was? Okay, there it is. Okay, it just looks like people.
Luckily, the host is rare, only found in North America.
Looks like I'm moving away from North
Obtaining info
America.
about the host is a very risky and daunting task. This is because of their rarity and of how dangerous it is to be up close to one. The spores released by a host is very dangerous when inhaled. A host will release a cloud of...
It's about to be like them the cave critters from the Woodlands National Park.
...spores into the air, which will be picked up by wind and carried great distances. If an organism inhales the spores, the particles will find their way into the organism's brain and infect them. An infected organism will show no symptoms of infection right away, but a couple hours after infection the infected organism's behavior and thought process will change. The first symptoms that appear are restlessness, sluggish movement, numbness of joints, and lack of coordination. Then more serious symptoms appear over time. These include dizziness, migraines, impaired speech, and trembles. If you, or someone you know show these symptoms, contact
like
poison control or emergency services. After a total of 6 to 7 hours after infection, the organism will cease all activities they were previously doing and begin to walk. The direction the infected will walk is towards the host whose spores have been inhaled by the infected individual. If the infected makes their way to the host, they will kneel down in front of it, expose their vital organs, and the host will promptly gut and remove those organs. The host will consume them and discard the leftover scraps. However, if an infected organism doesn't reach the host within a 36-hour span or is treated for their infection, the effects will wear off and return back to normal.
That's good.
If a host is unable to find prey or doesn't like its current location, it will unroot itself and move to a new location. There's scarce numbers and the hazard.
I love how it's like, I'm not killing enough. I'm not meeting my kill quota this month. I'm just going to uproot myself and move somewhere else. I do like the fact that you can last 36 hours because with the Woodlands National Park, that 45-45-10, that was rough. At least these guys have some chance.
Of being around one makes getting info about the host
Only
very
known
daunting.
photos of a living
All
host.
you need to currently know is that the host is extremely dangerous and should be avoided at all costs.
Bro,
Next,
I'm done.
the monoliths.
No, bro. I'm going to say it right now. Monoliths? That means they're huge. Can't prove it any different. I don't even need to watch this to know these things are about to be massive. Oh my god. Alright, I'm going to head out. I just know that I'm about to watch this and just... I know it's about to be huge.
The mon.
I don't know if Mario's still here, but Mario, you have a special place in my heart right now for being able to teach me this. Although one day the critters found the cave while searching for food, they found the prince entranced in his healing sleep. The critters were so awestruck and enchanted by the prince's magic. Okay, so this is a brand new story being told.
The monolith is a very new creature, only showing up in June of 1972, in the area.
Okay.
There are only 7 monoliths, all of them located in a circular position, 1.5 kilometers in diameter. This ring of monoliths surrounds. The monolith is a Titanic-sized being, measuring roughly 120 meters in height.
Comes with the territory.
Each monolith has 2 trunk legs that are firmly embedded underground. The legs connect to a torso.
Wait a minute. That was pretty cool. Go back. That's pretty cool. That's really well done. That's how you get people entranced into a show. That's awesome.
Embedded underground. The legs connect to a torso. The creature itself is made of hundreds of thousands of meaty strands, tightly woven together to form the structure. These strands end at the neck, fusing into a solid mass of hardened flesh in the shape of an upside-down triangle, with a hole in its center. On each side of the monolith,
that thing they say it can release an electric pulse?
The itself is made of hundreds of thousands of meaty strands, tightly woven together to form the structure. These
structures on the top of the body is capable of releasing large bellows of noise, and in one case, an EMP pulse that can disable electronics.
Strands end at the neck, fusing into a solid mass of hardened flesh in the shape of an upside-down triangle, with a hole in its center. On each side of the monolith where arms would be, there are dozens of long, rope-like appendages.
Large objects
These
passing
reach
the
just barely to the ground.
perimeter.
At the creature's feet, the strands go deep into the earth and extend horizontally a decent distance away. What the monoliths do is simply stand and do nothing. The only activity documented that the monoliths have done was in...
There's another one back there.
During this period, they were extremely aggressive. When the group of were making their way to the
Titan
city,
type shit,
the
exactly.
monolith that they had passes roared a deep bellow and swung its appendages at the team, completely wiping them out.
Hey, Spite of Artemis again. That's the third time. They must be a group. I'm guessing they're a group. That's a really cool. Man, that is solid. I would guess Spite of Artemis is within the perimeter with this, or they're looking behind them, and that's the curve with these 3. If that makes sense what I'm talking about.
Military vehicles were dispatched. Once they got close enough to top the monolith, it roared another call, this time releasing an EMP blast, completely knocking the vehicles out in the vicinity. Finally, long-distance rockets were fired and struck the creature.
That's cool. I appreciate it. That's pretty awesome. The rumbling.
Although damaged,
that was really well done.
It regenerated at great speed and resumed its stance unscathed.
Hey man, it technically is meat. It's just really, really tightly woven meat. Massage that sucker out and see what you can do with it, man. Get a stir fry going.
Eventually, the area has been fenced off and is now restricted to all.
After that is when they decided to...
Now only a grand spectacle of awe and mystery, only adding more questions to these meat beings. And finally,
There's
the
one
last
more?
creature on this list is
A meatball. Let's see if there's any clear. Who is this creature? Why are they here? I'll have to go back and look. Well, they were definitely moving, because they were shooting at them in that clip. We didn't really see it, but they were that's what those bright lights flashing were, was the rockets, I believe. We'll go back and look. Amongst themselves, who is this creature? Why are they here? Are they dangerous? A thought was thought that what if this creature could use its magic to help them? It may grow food or heal sickness. They continued to argue about the prince and his magic. In the end, the majority of the critters agreed that the prince was dangerous and should not be meddled with. Let's see, let's go.
spectacle. Ever since, the monolith stands silently. Now only a grand spectacle of awe and mystery.
It is
only
swaying,
adding
I will
more
say that much.
questions to
Very, very
these meat beings. And finally,
No.
the last creature on this list is
Because it's definitely moving its arms, but I don't know so much about the legs. Oh, no, it's the lightning strikes. I'm a dum-dum. That's pretty cool, though.
although damaged.
Yeah, it did move
it
its leg a little bit at the end there.
regenerated at great speed and resumed its stance unscathed. Eventually, the area has been fenced off and is now restricted to all. Ever since, the monolith stands silently, now only a grand spectacle of awe and mystery, only adding more
Bit further.
questions to
Let's
these
see.
meat beings. And finally, the last creature on this list is the vehicles out in the vicinity. Finally, long-distance rockets were fired and struck the creature. Although damaged, it
Either the
regenerated
camera
at great
moved,
speed
I
and
think.
resumed its stance unscathed. Eventually,
Unless the camera
area has
zoomed in
been
or zoomed
fenced
out.
off and is now
Oh, okay.
restricted to all.
You mean further
Ever
forward?
since, the monolith
Oh,
stands
okay.
silently, now only a grand spectacle of
I love how they...
Singularity is an orb comprised of a dark-colored mineral with hints of luminous colors within its core. The singularity is estimated to be 1 meter in diameter. The orb has several unique qualities that are not well understood. The singularity typically can be found suspended in air by an unseen force. There are also a variety of reading that has been documented coming from the orb itself. Various things like magnetic fields, energy signatures, and other pattern-like signals released by the singularity. The population of these creatures is unknown. Almost all info about the singularity is hidden or confiscated by officials. We were only able to receive one classified document about the singularity being held by...
Well, that's interesting.
marvelous and majestic world that exists today. It's as extraordinary to have such strange and mysterious beings appear all around us. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and discovery of the lives of these living meat creatures.
Thank you, man. Much appreciate it. That was pretty solid. That was all these just put into one clip. I thoroughly enjoyed that. We still have quite a little bit to go. So let's check out Cook It Home. Cook It Home. Cheese crawl panay cook. We got probably another hour before I stop. God, it's a cooking video, man. I knew there was going to be some BS about cooking these things, and I was not going to be happy. I did not want to see that.
This could be the greatest discovery of the age.
Baby. Let this feeling in.
Have any information of the where?
Stop. Intra-provincial travel production of sensitive material wanted by the CSIS. Vincent Barrere. 1965, Alberta. If you have any information regarding this person, please contact your local CSIS office. Okay. Can't see who the photo was taken by, but remember Vincent Barrere.
We make
Be making a dish that has recently gained a fair amount of popularity.
I bet this is about to be some crawl shit, some critters.
To start off, these will be the ingredients you will need. 3 cups of penne pasta. Roughly 3 cups worth of fresh scrawl.
I knew
Try
it.
to get a variety of sizes when you buy yours.
This is the branch. Okay. So at least it's the branch. Still weird, but okay.
Half a cup of green onion. 1 teaspoon of salt. 2 tablespoons of Cajun spice. 2 tablespoons of parsley. 1 tablespoon of dill. 1 tablespoon of garlic. A pinch of pepper.
Pinch, just a pinch.
And finally, the most crucial ingredient, Nutrier Company's newly released flavor enhancer.
Nutrier
To bring
Co.
out the richness of flavors within each and every meal. First, get a medium-sized pot and fill half of it with water. Add a pinch of salt, which is used to help the pot come to a boil faster and help flavor the pasta. Then, set aside to boil. Grab your crawl and a sharp knife. Begin to cut the meat into a
He did a
rough
good job with
bits.
that crawl because it looks gross. Real good job with it. I don't know what he actually did to make that, but it looks gross. The juices. Yucky, yucky, yucky. Just had to add in the sound effects.
Crawl is soft on the outside, but the interior has a surprising sturdiness. Then, gather the meat and set aside.
Then it starts playing the acoustic guitar again. You remember the host? I firmly believe that the host spore is that enhancer. Now that I was thinking, whenever it popped up, my first thought wasn't the. I mean, I didn't think any particular one in general. I was just thinking that it could have been any of them, like dried out and ground down to a powder. Because, I mean, you could do that with the exoskeleton on the snake. You could do that with the pores in the host. If you manage to get any of that neurotoxin from anything and mix it with something, I don't know. But, yeah, this is grody. Oh, he didn't even clean the freaking... That's so gross. I guess it's all going together, but, man, that's gross.
Take this mince and set aside as well. Next, grab your skillet and preheat with along some oil. Take your
Why wouldn't you
minced
pick the
crawl and
actual,
spread
like,
it
branch
evenly
parts
across
out,
the
though?
skillet.
Like, I feel like there's a pretty definitive difference between the
Stir
branches and the
occasionally until
actual
crisp
meat.
and brown.
But I don't know. It is all meat. But still, that'd be really weird texturally.
As your water reaches a boil, add your penne and stir occasionally.
cook until soft.
I like penne. Penne's good. More of a rigatoni guy myself.
Your crawl will be brown and crisp.
That is so. Just looks like dog food,
Add
man.
your minced
Ground
green
beef and
onion
dog
and
food.
then the spices. Mix well. Once your pasta is finished cooking, strain it. Lay your
Yeah, I was wondering.
evenly into your dish.
I don't know.
Then add the crawl topping.
Don't do it.
Sprinkle a generous amount of cheese.
A
along the
very
still
generous
warm crawl
amount,
for it to
brother.
melt.
I just want you to know there's no sauce, man. It's just plain pasta, plain
At this
meat.
point, finish preparing the dish with your flavor enhancer, but allow your dish to cool to a temperature below 60 degrees Celsius, or else the enhancer will not work.
Temperature for flavor enhancer? That's
And
interesting.
now you may serve and enjoy.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't ever do that. I guess my man did not want to boil the water, is what it seemed like to me. You ain't gonna skip through that. Although other critters ignored the rest of their kind, instead, they secretly visited Oh man. They snuck what little they had and carefully fed it to the prince, strengthening his recovery. Okay, so it looks like some of the critters didn't all agree. They decided to go and sneak him food while he slept in hopes that he would recover faster. Interesting. Is that the end of it? Yeah. Okay. Well, that was disgusting. That's the spores. Interesting. Guide to owning a pet trimming. All right, let's do that.
Companionship. They form bonds and grow relationships with these animals, even to the point of them being considered a part of the family. Most people get dogs or cats, but maybe you want something more interesting. Then, you may want to get yourself a trimming. These lumps of meat have grown a reputation to be a loving companion for many people in the recent months. Although, most people may not know the proper ways to care for them. Today, we will be showing
How to care for your trimming.
your pet trimming. Taking care of a trimming is fairly easy, but this is no reason to slack off. They are living things and do require maintenance. The first thing to keep in mind when keeping a trimming is the temperature of your home. While trimmings are resilient to both high and low conditions, you want to keep your base temperature near room temp, maybe slightly cooler. That being said, trimmings...
Just saying, the only 2 times temperature was mentioned is with the flavor enhancer and with this.
prefer warmer areas to nest. A simple setup you may use is a box with some blankets on the inside. Make sure there is enough for your trimming to cover itself. And now, you have a comfy bed for your buddy. Next, you want to give your trimming the best diet possible. Trimmings are not picky eaters, and will eat anything you give them. To keep your trimming healthy and strong, a diet of dry cat or dog food that is high in protein, provided 2 times a day, is best. As a treat, you may give your trimming any scraps of your food. Things like apple cores, banana peels, or eggshells are a perfect snack. A thing to remember is trimmings are nocturnal and make plenty of noise.
Absolutely not.
To prevent you from having sleepless nights, try to give your trimmings first meal in the late morning or afternoon. This helps them be active during these times instead. Another thing to consider if you want a pet trimming is where they will be living. Your home should have enough space for your trimming to roam around, as well as access to the outdoors, like a backyard. If not, be sure to take your trimmings on regular walks. This gives your trimming the exercise
Yeah,
they need,
screw that,
as
man.
well as allowing them to meet other trimmings. Trimmings are a social creature and need to interact with others of their kind, like how they do in the wild. When it comes to entertainment, trimmings are not the most active and aren't the best at fetch or tug of war. But here are other ways to keep your trimming
He's got
entertained.
spirit.
Some toys that trimmings like are little items they can push, around, pull, or carry. Trimmings also enjoy things that you enjoy as well, like watching the television or listening to the radio. They love seeing and listening to all the funny things coming from the devices. After a long day, your trimming might be dirty and need a wash. To clean them, start your bath with a gentle warm water, mixed with a bit of hand or body wash. Gently scrub the trimming's feet, armpits, belly, and neck fold. Remember to be careful around their face, and avoid getting soap in their eyes, nose, and mouth. Gently pat dry with a towel when done. Now your buddy is all clean.
Yeah, I would never.
And lastly, as
Not
said
even a little
before,
bit.
trimmings are social creatures, so be sure to give them plenty of affection. They love receiving pats, scratches, and pets. They also love to sit with you and cuddle. Since they communicate with each other in the wild, it is best to replicate this behavior with them as well.
What do you say? Go back to the radio bit. There was some hidden frame. Where was the radio?
Enjoy things that you enjoy as well, like watching the television or listening to the radio. They love seeing and listening to all the funny things coming from the devices. After a long
I thought that was just a picture of him again. Yeah, see, it showed a picture of it again. And then it just looks like the rest is, at least nothing that we can decipher through this frame. Because I noticed it too, and I thought that was just another random... Yeah, because it doesn't look like anything else is in the radio section. Yeah, I think it was just that picture. Yeah, that's what I thought.
your day.
No problem, bud.
Anything
I'm happy to go
interesting
back and
happens at
recheck.
work, if you are working
Absolutely,
on
I don't want to
any
miss anything
recipes
either.
Or talk about the weather. Trimmings are very good listeners and love to be involved.
Good listeners, and they love to be involved. They're like the fucking birds the government sent, man. They're listening to your conversations.
With all of these in mind, you are now well equipped
How funny
to
would it
have
have
a
been
trimming
if during
become a
all
part of
this, without even noticing, the bitch only had 4 legs instead of 6, and it was just a really fat mimic. I felt so bad for this dude.
Do things right, and you will have a companion for a long while.
Damn, 8 to 12 years. That's pretty solid. Somebody was writing something. Somebody was writing something at the end. But them liking white noise, I hope it's connected to the monoliths. That would be interesting. I'd be interested in that. Alright, moving on to the next one. Meat snake specimen. I wonder if we're going to see the big old fat boy that was in the newspaper article.
Meet Varg.
Let's see. Okay, I'm not crazy. Somebody was putting in a VHS. Hidden frame at the end. Dang it, man. You kill me every time. I knew it. I knew I should have watched the whole damn thing. Let's see. Because we hear the person writing. Oh, you were correct, brother. 100%. I don't know how I didn't miss. One day. Give me that. No, not that. Give me the other one. One day the prince awoke suddenly. Thanks to the critter's assistance, the healing process had finished very quickly. The prince had fully recovered and now fully awake and aware of their surroundings. Surprised by the sudden awakening, the critters ducked and hid from the prince's sight. Thank you very much, Attila. I needed that. I was just about to ask. I wonder if we're going to get another of the book in this one. Awesome. Thank you, Attila. Discard this tape immediately.
In the year of 1945, with the war finally ended,
it's the big boy
process had started. During routine sweep of an underground train tunnel, the cleanup crew made a grotesque discovery.
That's a big boy.
Found completely filling the tunnel was a meaty wall, and in the center of the map.
Now, I am a guy. We all know this. You can see me. I'm a dude. We all know what I'm about to say. We all know. We can all tell. Is it safe to say on YouTube? Absolutely not. But you guys know what I want to say. You have at least an inkling in your mind and heart of what I want to say about this. But
was an opening with several skulls surrounding it. Closer inspection of the blockage revealed that the mass was actually an extremely engorged meat snake. Its impeccable size had blocked off the entirety of the tunnel's path.
Imagine if that bitch hit mitosis.
There was many strange things with this creature. First was the coloration. A typical meat snake's color is bright reds and light browns. This particular meat snake was a very deep maroon. Another strange thing about it was its behavior. This creature barely moved. Meat snakes are normally sluggish and encumbersome, but the specimen discovered seemed to lack even basic motor functions. Its behavior was that of a plant's, stationary, with only minor movements within. One would assume it was dead. The reason the meat snake may act this way may be because it was completely lodged in place and minimized movements to conserve energy. But how would it have gotten this deep into the tunnel in the first place? And by the looks of weathering, it had been in there for quite some time. So how did it get so large? The answer was discovered by a different cleaning crew, who found the other end of the tunnel. They followed it until it met with the other end of the meat snake. Alongside it was a huge pile of
Oh my god, that scared me. Stop that. Huge pile of carcasses, man. Just. Oh, is it not actually gonna see it?
Alongside it was a huge.
Yeah, that little frame right there. Give me that frame. It's about as blurry as we're gonna get, but a lot of skulls and pelvises, it looks like, which is the things it doesn't eat.
This meat snake's skin also displayed great amounts of resilience.
Oh, I
bet. It took
bet.
several days of cutting to even obtain a sample. Here, you can see the clear difference between this meat snake specimen versus a normal meat snake's membrane.
This comparison shows the great difference. Oh.
Testing on the sample showed that it had great immunity to damage. It tolerated extreme freezing temperatures, extreme heat temperatures, and even high doses of radiation. It is a wonder how such durability can occur in an organic creature. Another strange phenomenon is the smell off the skin. Normally, it would have a sour smell of rotting flesh. But the specimen displayed a rather pleasant smell, like that of cooking scrambled eggs.
Cooking
meat
scrambled
snake
eggs.
was later discovered to be missing by unknown survivors. How the meat...
Wait, did it say it was missing? Wait, what? Did that bitch just say it was later found to be missing? And doesn't it sound like the elder mimic?
Scrambled eggs. Meat snake was later discovered to be missing by unknown survivors. How the meat snake...
That bitch was found missing. Might be onto something there, Attila. But I'm dumbfounded that they said it was missing.
Meat snake was later discovered to be missing by unknown survivors. How the meat...
And we just see a general. Is that all that was? Yeah. With his name blacked out and his face blacked out.
How the meat snake grew in size was discovered to be...
That fucker's missing? Oh, there it was, Attila. I'm not losing it this time. One of the critters built up the courage to meet the now awake stranger. They crawled to the prince's side and extended their hand in friendship. The prince reached back, and together they formed the bond that will change their fate. Interesting. I appreciate it. Oh, no. A whole thing dedicated to mimics. I don't know. I haven't been liking these. That's just rude. This is a whole tape dedicated to mimics, and it is more than likely going to be our last one. Oh, God. Luckily, this one's like 20 minutes long, so I don't feel... No, it's not. It's only 4. Skipped it. I was like, something's wrong here, brother. Is it not loading? Why is it not loading? I'm so confused why this one's not loading. Mimic defense. Click. Age restriction? Absolutely not. Wouldn't have any problem. Let me real quick. Let me go to... I guess so. We might have to come back to this one at a later date because for some reason it's just not loading. And even if it was, it would have definitely... Even if it was a restriction for age, it would have stopped me way before we got to this point. That's weird. I don't like that. Well, that's annoying. I guess we'll skip it for right now and come back. That's unfortunate. That's a really long one, too. Man, that is super bummer. Give me 1 second. Let me put to intermission. We'll just hang out for a second. Maybe not that. There's gotta be a reason it's not working. There we go. Oh no, it pulled it up and then it like clicked through it. I understand and wish to proceed. Go back. There we go. Yeah, I don't... what? What is going on? Why does it hate us? It's like perfectly okay, bud. Can we clip the whole thing? Let's see. I just needed to pull it back up again. No! I hate this thing. Just pause it. Stay. Yeah, YouTube's being YouTube right now. Think we might be good.
As of the time of this video's release,
Awesome. Don't know
we
how
have
it
been
worked.
facing a concerning increase of missing persons and fatalities on a global scale. The reason for this is because we are under attack. We have discovered that there has been a significant growth of mimic populations, which is threatening public safety. National leaders have released this instructional recording to teach you on how to defend yourself. Here is what you need to know about the threat. Mimics are humanoid, intelligent predators that are highly adaptive and feed solely on human prey. Mimics gain information on people by watching their daily lives and pick to hunt people when they are most vulnerable. The most common times a mimic will attack is when you are asleep, out walking alone, or in a cornered position. Mimics
dirty,
are cautious
man.
and calculative creatures, taking precautions to ensure a successful hunt. They utilize various tactics to capture a person by surprise. One of the more well-known tactics is hiding itself inside of fur.
If I go to get a fucking winter coat or anything, and one of these bug-eyed motherfuckers just pops out of my closet or out of my furniture, I mean, yeah, we've discussed it. I'm probably not going to be able to do anything to him, but I'm going to be very upset.
Furniture to blend into its environment. Common objects that mimics can hide inside our sofa.
I love it. This is some creepy shit.
Recliners, wardrobes,
A
ottomans,
recliner?
and other.
I go back to lay in a lazy boy, and I look over and I'm like, this feels a little weird. Just to have that motherfucker just close its arms around me.
Other places a mimic can comfortably wait. Mimics are able to contort their body in ways that allow them to fit inside smaller places. They also use it to expand their body, making themselves appear larger for intimidation. Another method mimics use to blend in is their ability to put on and wear clothing. Mimics put on layers of shirts, pants, and jackets to hide their bright red skin and blend into densely populated areas. In very rare cases, mimics can develop and grow to look very similar to human beings. Pairing this with clothing, it can be very hard to tell the difference between a mimic and a person right away. If you are unsure if a person is a mimic, look out for key features that may reveal their true form. Look for abnormal facial features, like large, bulbous eyes, flat noses, wide mouths and an uncanny smile, and clammy skin.
Yeah.
Also
Very
pay
familiar with
attention to
Reddit.
other exposed body parts like hands. Mimic people will have long fingers with no fingernails. If you are unable to see their face or hands, watch their walking pattern. Mimics' legs are long and hunched. Their walking will be unusual and
Mimics are
irregular.
definitely my least favorite so far. Most terrifying,
Here
but
is
least
what you
favorite.
do if you are met with a mimic.
Die.
If it stands before you, do not panic.
Just die.
Stand your ground and try to appear larger.
This ain't a bear.
Wave your hands and make plenty of noise. Maintain eye contact. A mimic will hesitate to attack a potential
If you gonna kill me, I'm gonna make sure you look into my soul as you do it.
threat. If you are armed with a weapon, aim for the head or legs.
So I just want to point out, when we first heard about mimics, it didn't say to do any of this. The complete opposite, actually. It said to ball up and cover your neck and use the weapons to cover vital areas. And if you have a gun, tough shit. Ain't once did it say any of this.
These are the best areas to hit to immobilize the threat. Fight back and don't let it get a hold on you. If you find a mimic that hasn't discovered you yet, stay out of sight. Call the authorities and alert them of your location. Stay where you are to avoid startling the mimic. If the mimic gives chase, run. Try to get somewhere out of sight and hide. Do not leave the area. Officials will need to locate you to help. Stay low and stay quiet. With the information you have learned, use it well, and stay safe.
Will do. Oh, it's another tape being played. Evidence tape, Christopher and Janice case, 1983. Observed footage for confidential information. Completed. Discard and destroy all copies of this tape immediately. Oh, is this, we had another newspaper article a few episodes back. I wonder if this is going to be that family that was killed. Oh, probably not. The family was out in the woods hiking.
Got it. Let's see. Yep, it's working.
Hey, can we get a move on?
1 sec. Yeah. Okay. Hello.
I thought you only had 30 minutes of tape on that.
I know, but just gotta see how it works. Like,
Yeah, well,
I never have to
don't
use one of these. Too bad. You were the only person who could film with me, so you're gonna have to put up with it.
Fine.
Screw you.
Hope she dies.
Screw you. Screw you. Still way too dark. 1 sec. There we go. Hello.
So I'm going to go ahead and say it. If I live in a world where there are monsters or beings that wish to cause me harm, I'm not going on a nightly stroll. I'd be surprised if I ever even left my house. You come evict me, brother, you're going to have to come with a lot of firepower. Because, nope, I'm not going out for no nightly strolls.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. You got some light now. But look at that over there. You can't see anything unless I like point directly over there. Like, nope, can't see nothing.
Are you sure we should be out this late?
Fine.
Thank
I'll
you.
cook you stuff when we get home. Don't worry.
Okay, I hope she lives now.
Too bad.
She's at least smart. The guy's like, yeah, let's do it. She's like, can always appreciate a found footage style or ARG whenever we can look at the ground as they walk by. That's okay. I've seen too many found footage movies do this, so I'm not going to talk shit about it whatsoever. If you like the Blair Witch, this is half the movie, so.
Wait. Shit. Right, but it still turns off and on randomly for some reason. Like, it's the best thing I could get my hands on, though. Turning on and off, but it's the only thing that they would give me. It works, though. I just gotta watch.
Only thing they would give me. I wanted to point that
I
out.
live in a fucking dump. We're almost there. We just gotta get through the woods.
Through the woods? What?
You see it, though? Hopefully I show up on camera, so. Hopefully there are lights out there. Like, people still live there, right? Can't be that bad.
Pretty dark for me.
But it was just one guy. I don't know why. Like, why would they get rid of everything? Dogs barking are never a good sign.
No.
The sky looks nice. This thing can't capture it. Barely capture the ground in front of me.
So, what are we doing out here exactly?
I was about to say, this guy's been walking for a minute.
Supposedly, they found some guy. Like, it was like a grody scene. Like, it was disgusting.
Grody.
Like, they had to get rid of the trailer he was in, and like, they didn't let anyone nearby, and it was like this big conspiracy. So
I'm guessing he was killed by a mimic.
Hopefully, I get a good mark for it. There we go, we're getting close. Careful.
Thank you, Sean.
I know where we're going.
Yeah, we're almost there. We're on the road.
This guy's been
Right
saying
next
we're
to it.
almost there for like a solid 5-10 minutes
Literally
now.
up there.
Okay.
Come on. It's not too late yet.
Feel like
Hungry.
it's not too late yet. Brother, there are
Yeah?
there are monsters that live in your world. It's always too late.
Soon, okay? We're almost there. It'll be like 5 minutes. 5 minutes, okay? We're on the road.
I hope this guy dies.
We're almost there.
Absolutely
past the tree
hope
line.
this guy dies. Because I feel like
the way
she's
to
going
the
to
trailer
die.
park. Then we can go home. Okay?
Okay.
I don't want to be out here either. It's a weird place.
It's a weird place.
You're
Yeah,
right
we
here.
noticed, brother.
You go ahead. You can't see a thing. Just up here. There should be a path. Right there, yeah, right here. See, I found the path. We're all good.
He's like, yeah, no worries. Now I found the path. Thank you, Mono, for the follow. I see you. Thank you, Morden. Never. Absolutely not. Like, what are they even doing, man? I'm getting anxious because I'm like, bro, if I was in this situation, I would just not be in this situation. You wouldn't catch me out there, man.
This way. I think this way.
I'm just saying, if this guy came out here with no
Yo, look at
weapons
this. I didn't see this on my way
whatsoever,
over here last time.
he deserves whatever's about to happen to him.
It's cool. Like we could get a shot of this in like atmosphere, you know?
It just looks like tetanus.
One sec, let me get a good lighting on that.
Just
There
looks
we
like
go,
tetanus to
yeah.
me. Well,
Cool.
you're the only smart one out of the two, so I agree.
Stuff here as well. Anyways.
Thanks, Ricky. They're in the trees.
We're on the flat part now. Yeah, we're close. Trailer should be right up ahead. This is where everyone was. There's no one here now, though. Not a single building in sight. Except, like, way over there.
So this guy heard something happened and then decided, I'm going to go to this abandoned area now to check it out. Knowing damn well mimics live in populated areas. That's crazy.
This is the spot. Right here. Yeah. This thing. Okay. So, you take the camera and the light. Point it at me, but don't point it at my eyes, please. Like a barf bag.
Okay. That got me. That was just so random. So we definitely know this tape is being, or is put together by whoever's trying to cover up the fact that these things are happening at higher rates. So whatever he's saying pertains to why that place is now a ghost town. I wonder if there was like 20 dudes and like one mimic just in an open warehouse. Like, who's gonna win, man? I would too, absolutely. You're not about to catch me staying there. Be like, oh, did you hear they found a mimic next door? Well, they ain't finding me here. Bye.
You said grizzly way too much. What?
You said grizzly way too much.
Too much?
Yeah.
Okay, should I retry?
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, pause.
That one turned out alright, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, why is it rolling? Did you catch that?
Oh.
30 minutes to film and yet I needed someone to film. Alright. No hard feelings, okay?
Okay.
Hope he wasn't mad at her. He was the one that pointed out the damn thing turned on and off.
Like, back there was the perfect time for a serial killer to jump out and grab us, you know?
Cut it out. It's scary enough as is. Chris? Chris?
Did my man just get got?
Chris? Where are you? Chris?
That was really well done.
This isn't funny.
If he did just get got, that was really well done. Right in the middle of a conversation.
I just want to go home. Come on.
Bah, I'd have left his ass.
Fine. I guess I'm going home without you.
Get it, Fergie?
I'm cold, tired, and hungry.
Yep.
If you want to stay out here and play games, you can.
My man was immediately got. Immediately got. I'm turning my headset up, and this is not going to go out well if they start screaming, but I'm trying to hear everything. I'm proud of her for sticking to her word. My girl dipped. She said, I'm out. You're not about to catch me. I'd be
Chris?
hoofing it.
What are you doing? Because this isn't funny.
I wouldn't have turned around to look, brother. Made it back to the road. My girl's hoofing it. Hey. Oh, I bet that thing followed her. Yep. Man, he seriously got both of them killed. For what? Next tape? Man. That was good. I enjoyed that. I wasn't there it was. I was about to say I didn't see any page, but there it is. Oh, come on. Where did you stop that? The critters led the prince out of the cave to the top of the hill. The prince had laid buried underneath and showed them the forest. This is our home, full of wonder and beauty. Although the forest struggles to provide for all the critters, we are facing disaster. Can you help us? Page 11. Nice. Well, that was awesome. So we will definitely have to finish 5 more episodes in the next stream. But for right now, we're going to call it quits right there. That was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Definitely will do another ARG stream just because I'm really enjoying sitting down and watching these. But I appreciate everybody joining in and watching from Trovo, Twitch, YouTube. You guys have been awesome. Very much appreciate you. My name is Pinto Bread, and as always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and